This is the Based Hooligan Podcast, episode 2. I'm joined by my co-host, Rune. How's it going, man?
Pretty good.
All right, so for this episode, we've decided a good follow-up to our discussion a couple weeks ago about the early days of Absurd would be Grand Belial's Key, which they're a good follow-up because it's still within that, that kind of space of, somewhat, punk, RAC adjacent metal, but it's obviously way more heavy metal influence. And so I think we're going to have a really interesting conversation because I know both you and I, I mean, personally speaking, they are my favorite band of all time. And I can say that with a bullet. Having listened to metal for a good portion of my life, I have not found a band that comes close to capturing exactly what I'm looking for, the feelings that I'm looking for out of metal music. Forget black metal, forget whatever subgenre you want to label them. They are just a perfect heavy metal band to me, and they kind of encapsulate all, like, every type of feeling, every type of moment, every type of whatever, like, tempo. They encapsulate all of that. So I think it's really cool that we're following up our chat about, obviously they do have their own portion of controversy, which we can talk about that, and that definitely lends to a part of their we'll say infamy, a part of their legacy, a part of their notoriety. But beyond that, I think we just want to talk about their music, their impact on the scene, and then kind of how they've evolved over the years into what they are today. So I'm wearing my Fred Perry tracksuit in honor of the occasion, just because they are the hooligan black metal band. So I think I'm going to tee it off to you. So just kind of give me some of your general thoughts and history with the band.
Well, I mean, it's pretty much the same with me. Like, I've been a fan of those guys since right around when Mocking the Philanthropist came out, and I think it was a really polarizing album. But we'll get to that later. It's it's like you said, they kind of have everything that you need out of a metal band. I mean, you can say black metal, and they are a black metal band, but, like, at the same time, like, I could see people that aren't into when you say black metal and you think of something that sounds like, I hate to use this, but it's the most generic like example I could find is like Darkthrone, like the lo-fi blast beats, screechy vocals. They do some of that, and they did it earlier on, but, like, that's not them. They have so much more, like, metal, just traditional metal influence, like King Diamond and Merciful Fate, and we'll get into those influences later too. But they have it all. They've got the aggression. They've got they've got some sad stuff. They got some super emotional riffs. They've definitely got the epic stuff. They've got the pride. It's the perfect band, and it's a nearly perfect discography. We can have an argument on that later. It is a perfect discography, but it has a couple of, we'll say, dents. But there's nothing bad they've ever done that's not perfect. It's all good. So I did want to say a couple things before we get started. I totally forgot that fucking Belial worked with Hospital. Like, that was me. I fucked that up. I feel like a poser. I sit here and said, oh, I really like Belial. And then they did work with Hospital. I forgot about the early EP, so I'm glad someone corrected me. There's people out there more autistic than me. That's fantastic.
You can't remember everything.
Yeah, I can't remember fucking everything, man. Yeah. I'm doing this from Ruby Ridge, Idaho, in a hovel in a cabin, drinking coffee in a dark room, man. So
yeah, we're literally winging this shit. So yeah. Everything we're saying is coming off the top of our heads. Okay, so give us a break.
We text each other all week, and then it's like, oh yeah, we got a podcast this week. We're gonna do that, so be prepared. Yup. So that's it. So I did fix my mic placement because I was adding extra necro atmosphere with my fucking breath. Jesus Christ, I'm glad somebody pointed that out because it was fucking obnoxious. I'm really bad about that. So I did fix my mic placement. So, but anyway, yeah, GBK is the ultimate band. I've only seen them one time. I think you've seen them maybe more than that. I saw them in the early 2000s. And it was fucking amazing. It was around the Judeobeast era, and
best era to see them.
But like I've seen the videos and the videos you've taken and sent me of the recent stuff, and they're always good, man. They're always good, and they're good with Kaz, and they're good with fucking Unhold.
Yep.
So,
and honestly,
obviously, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but like obviously they were great with Richard Mills, but I didn't get to see him then. I knew Richard really well, but like sadly never got to see him, and they didn't play enough shows, I don't guess. But that would have been the best time to see him would be with him.
Yeah.
Aside from Kaz. Kaz will always be my favorite, but like I think Richard, I mean, it's fucking amazing, R.I.P.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Vinland wins. Talk about, dude. He definitely left a legacy. All the releases he did, and then obviously doing vocals on Kosherad and the Welton Fiend split. R.I.P. for sure. But talk about a legacy. Because I was listening to Kosherad again this week, and just his vocals on that, they're just a perfect blend of like sarcastic spitefulness. I think this is the best way to put it. Yeah. You just feel this is a term that comes across, and they have an album called Mocking the Philanthropist, and mocking is such a good word for some of the tone of this band. It's just so like, some black metal tries to come across as blasphemous, tries to come across as evil. They genuinely do. They have a real contempt for Abrahamic religion. And that just comes across in space, specifically in that record, and specifically in his vocal performance.
Yeah,
he's almost spitting the lyrics. You feel like he's just like bleh, like just totally fucking hate filled. And that's one of my favorite black metal vocal performances of all time. And we can go into that more in depth when we talk about Kosherot in full. But I think just for both of us, and obviously the podcast is called the Based Hooligan Podcast. The term hooligan didn't come out of nowhere. Obviously I'm taking a extreme influence from just the kind of spirit that GBK has laid down within the black metal scene of not conforming to what is expected of a black metal band. When you think about their image, Galal has said it in interviews. They are an imageless black metal band. They show up in literally fucking tracksuits and sneakers, and they show up on stage and fucking blow every other band on the bill away, which is just, it points out the absurdity of having this kind of, there is a time and place for the theatrics of black metal, but I think when you have a band like GBK, they're almost like militant. And their appearance, they're very it's I don't even think it's something that they put a second thought into, but it's definitely become kind of its own subculture within black metal. It's like the anti black metal look, having the kind of like, wearing Lonsdale, wearing Fred Perry, wearing hooligan attire, whatever. As lame as it is to talk about that, it does have an impact on the scene, because it does show that it is okay, and it actually is. It's preferable to break out from just the fucking corpse paint, from the chains, from the leather, whatever. Even though that stuff is cool, and there are bands that pull it off well, I think with GBK, I cannot picture their presentation or their stage presence to be any different than what it is. And I think that's part of what is kind of built up their legend over the years, is that they just don't give a single fuck, and that's like they literally have a shirt that says "No fucking boycott will stop us." It's that total just complete contempt and complete disregard for any feelings within the scene, whether that be bands that they respect, whether that be people who are trying to, derail them, whatever it is. They're just, they stay in their own lane, and they actually created their own lane within black metal.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. Yeah, the image thing, excuse me, they definitely go in for the soccer hooligan thing, which is obviously an influence on Galal. He's talked about it a lot. And I think that first surfaced in, Judeobeast. That LP came out, and he's wearing like a soccer... He had shaved his head, and he was wearing a soccer jersey, and everybody was like, "Oh my god, this isn't black metal." And we'll get to that later, but yeah, it's like the anti-image, which is fucking great. And like, I think it could also probably be looked at from... We talked about this last week, or last episode, excuse me, on the NS kind of the NS influence, maybe not as far as music goes and politics and music, but when you think, and this is the reason I shaved my head and cut my hair, is like, I got tired of being lumped in with fucking degenerate metalhead, drug addict, fucking, like, I don't know, just garbage, we always call them, metalloid scum, just fucking potato brain, like,
Yeah.
I have a fucking education, you know what I mean? And like, the guys that are just like, "Hails, brother," and all that shit, and have long hair, and you're just gonna swill beer and fucking thrash out, like, that's fine. That's not my fucking thing. I'm not a fucking degenerate, and you got to carry yourself with pride, and I think that's kind of where they're coming from with some of the image too. Like, I try not to wear a lot of band shirts. I do on occasion in a casual situation, but it's, you present yourself a certain way, and people take you more seriously, and I think that's what I got from them. Like, the whatever, you can think whatever about the soccer jersey, but like, it's like you said, he gets on stage with a fucking polo or whatever and khakis. Like, that's not black metal, but looks like a fucking serious man. It doesn't look like it also doesn't look like a jam band kind of thing either. You know what I mean? So, but it's a serious. It looks. I take somebody more seriously if they present themselves in a serious manner, and like, I have a hard time, especially now, taking someone seriously if they get on stage with corpse paint and spikes in a tiny little club, and it's like 5 people. It's like, dude, who are you doing this for, man?
Yeah, exactly. So, it's totally embarrassing.
Yeah.
I've told this story before, but so the first time I saw them was at Hell's Head Bash 2016, and I just,
nice.
Prior, I remember before that show got announced, I almost had this like clairvoyant moment where I was like, dude, what if they get, because GBK hadn't played a show and I can't remember how many years, but it had been a while. And that was kind of around the time when their, I guess, notoriety or their popularity was kind of reaching a groundswell at that moment, around like 2014 to 2016, those period of years. They started getting really, I think Drakkar had done some represses a few years previously, and just the time was right. You kind of had the reemergence of, the old school heavy metal sound, so that obviously the people who liked that sound could appreciate GBK. And so I remember when they got announced, I was like, okay, I'm fucking there, I'm going. So we got like a whole bunch of dudes to go to that. That was like one of the best US fests ever. I still think about it all the time, because that the lineup they were able to pull off, I still wish they did another one. But anyway, so we were standing there in the club, and I believe they played, I think it was a Saturday. I can't remember. It's been so long. It's been 10 years ago now, 2016. So it's kind of nuts to think about. But we were all standing there talking, and all of a sudden, like the entire fucking, like, we were by the merch. There was like a whole like merch area where like Hell's Headbangers had set up, and they had like 7 tables or whatever. And the entire place got quiet when the GBK guys showed up. Everyone was like, there they are. It was like, it was insane. Dude, literally the entire place was like, oh my God. Like, you would think like some celebrities walked in or something. Because it was kind of like, what's like, because, they weren't on social media. There weren't photos of them. Their interviews of them are pretty scarce. There's no video interviews of them or anything. So it kind of was like this thing that you spoke about in Hush Tone. I was like, oh, GBK, when are they going to show up? Oh. But when they rolled through and they set up the merch table, literally, I'm not kidding, like 70 kids lined up immediately, ready to buy whatever they want. I don't think they were prepared because they brought like a few boxes of merch and that was it. You know, and it was gone within, minutes.
Yeah, I guess Galal hadn't restarted fully Sinistrari. Well, I don't guess he really ever stopped Sinistrari, but like now it's like full on. He's doing a distro and label and stuff, and he probably wasn't really prepared, and they probably weren't, which is fine. I mean, that's just really fucking tedious to deal with if you're touring, or not touring, but traveling from out of town and bringing all that stuff. But I hope they sold every bit of it.
It was gone, dude. It was gone within. So I know I still have my shirt I got. They didn't really. I think it was like a Goat of 1,000 Young design with like their old. I think it's the logo that Mark Riddick did on their first demo. And I think that was the only shirt they had. Plus they had like some other like assorted distro stuff, CDs. I got a couple patches. I actually got like a Resistance Youth Core patch that I put on the back of my bomber jacket. Tons of cool stuff. But anyway, dude, like, so no other band that whole weekend had any type of merch line, but there was like 70 kids lined up for their shit. So I remember thinking, I was like, okay, this means something. This is kind of this is a tone shift for the scene.
Yeah, they're definitely their own kind of special band. I mean, it's gotten kind of fruity now, like with all the memes of every fucking band, and everybody likes every fucking band. But like, GBK has always been a very polarizing band. You either hated them or you loved them. There's no real casual listeners. I think I said that about Absurd before, or certain Absurd albums, but there are people that like some of their stuff, but if you like them, you love them. And I like the mystery behind them, like the fact that they're not, it's not like they're super private on purpose, like they don't wear masks on stage or anything, but they're not on social media because it's fucking fruity and they're adults. I mean, right. I guess Sinistrari is, but it's like they don't need it, and it's like he always says, pretend like it's 1993 or 1994, and wait on your wait, and it's against the Funderground. It's not supposed to be like a fun friendship circle. I really hope that he was like any of those guys that were there, that people came up and said and like asked for a selfie, that people were either smart enough to not ask, or they were just completely fucking rude to them, because that's so fucking dumb, dude. Like, asking for selfies with GBK.
Oh, that's ridiculous. Yeah, I really hope no, like, eager kid fucking thought that was a good idea.
Yeah, it would even be fruity for like some like Make-A-Wish kind of like short bus kid. He probably had the wherewithal to fucking not ask GBK for a selfie,
But that I just remember, and then after that they kind of they played. I think it was like Apocalyptic Rites in Finland right before that, or it might have been right after. But then they kind of went dormant. Then that was it for like several years, and you didn't hear anything from them. And then randomly, they in 2022 they dropped a new LP, and then they've been kind of active since. But it's just, I think it was just kind of a moment where they realized, oh, okay, well, people are interested in our band,
it feels, I'm sorry, it feels like they did some stuff. Didn't they do some one-off gigs since that Finnish gig? Like, it seems like they may have done some one-off gigs here and there, like private gigs.
Not that I'm aware of. So I know that they did Hell's Head Bash. And they did a couple other shows around that, I think, in Europe, but no other U.S. shows as far as I know. And then they kind of started doing stuff more recently after the new LP came out.
Yeah. Well, let's see. When did Kosher Rat came out in 2005. Kohanic Charmers. Maybe I'm thinking of Kohanic Charmers. I can never say that fucking word.
Kohanic Charmers,
yeah. Maybe I'm thinking of that. Maybe it was
that's definitely time. They started playing. It took a couple years, but after that LP came out, they started playing shows more.
I have a real vivid picture in my head of those guys playing a bar, and he normally, like, Galal usually plays a BC Rich Warlock, and he switched. Like, there was a shot of him playing a Gibson SG.
Yeah, that was. I think that was right after. I know the photo you're talking about.
It's like a small stage, like one of those stages. It's just like a step up.
Yeah, that was probably like 2006, because I think that was right as Unhold started doing vocals for them.
No. This was later. This was in the past few years. I think this was around. I might be thinking of something like a private gig that I had pictures of.
That's probably it.
Like, I'll send you that picture, but, like, I'm not gonna fucking post it here just in case it, or, you know, anywhere we have, just in case, without confirming that it's okay. But I remember him playing an SG. I love SGs. That's what I play. But, like, I was like, holy shit, because, like, it was nice to not see a fucking BC Rich, and I hope he played it because of, like, these meme bands, like, all playing, like, pointy fucking gay guitars.
Yeah.
but I mean, his is obviously iconic, man, you know. So
that BC Rich,
the BC Rich with a Mortician sticker. So when I saw them in New York in the early 2000s, Judeobeast, it was fucking unbelievable. I mean, the crowd wasn't anywhere near as big as what I've seen for Hell's Head Bash.
Was that at CBGB's?
No, it was at. It might have actually technically been in New Jersey. I don't think it was Dingbass. Jesus Christ, I should have been fucking prepared. I could text my friend right now and ask him, but it's where I met a lot of friends that I have now. That it was like, internet was still in its infancy, and like as far as like a social networking kind of thing. So, like, I met a lot of people there that I had only known through letters and email and stuff. But I'll look that up. But yeah, it was at a small club. But it was a good club. I mean, it was a solid club, and the sound was great. There was a separate room with like a pool table and shit. So, but it was those guys, and that was the show with Profanatica, and I think Krieg played, which is awful, and I forget, man. I want to say Hemlock may have played. I don't fucking know. I remember there was two shows that were really close together in that area that I went to, and but I do remember GBK playing, because when they showed up, it was kind of like what you said. It was like a force just showed up, and then seeing Kaz was just fucking awesome. So, but because he's to me, Kaz is just as fucking like cult and killer of a guy as Galal, because he's so involved in the underground for so many fucking years.
Oh yeah, unsung hero of the underground, I'd say. Crucifier too. They're getting their flowers now, but for so long they just kind of, I mean, they're another band stuck to their guns. They knew exactly the type of death metal they wanted to play, and did not conform to any sort of trend. They were just like, this is what we do. And now they're one of the bigger bands in the underground.
Yeah, finally they're getting their comeuppance, so to speak, and like, which is bullshit, because they've always been there. They've never like gotten away from or traveled or strayed from too much of what they've always done, and it's fantastic. I mean, they've done some albums that were just kind of okay, but they're even at that stage of being okay, like, it's still fucking killer. Like that, I believe it was the Ego Sum Papa, I Am the Pope. That album fucking rules, man. And then there was an EP. It was
was it the one with like the pan on it, the goat demon?
I believe that is a compilation.
Okay. Yeah, because I know they've only done like 3 actual full lengths and like a ton of EPs.
Yeah, they've done 4. They've done 4 albums, and then like I think 3 EPs. The one you're thinking of, the EP you're thinking of with the pan on the front, that's Trampled Under Cloven Hooves.
Yeah.
And that's really good. That one was really well circulated. It came out in like 2009, I think. And Paragon put that out, which is another fucking cool label, and then from the U.S. and then like the demo, like the Crucifier self-titled demo, that was in '96. Well, no, that's actually a Crucifier. What am I thinking of? I can't think of the thing I was thinking of. Anyway, the albums. Yeah, it was. Oh no, Thy Sulphur Thrown on High. That one is fucking fantastic.
Is that the one with the Chris Moyen art?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah, that one is sick.
Yeah, that album is fucking incredible, man.
And Kaz does a lot of I know that's that Madman Murphy guy, but I think he floated in and out of the band for a little bit. I think he is back in the band, but I know Kaz does a lot of the guitar writing on that, which is really cool.
Yeah, Kaz is a fucking maniac, man. He plays guitar, he plays bass, and I don't know if he plays bass actually. He plays guitar and he plays fucking drums, and like I think he always kind of helped write a lot of the Crucifier stuff. And Kaz is he's just one of those guys that's just constantly involved in shit, and he has been. And I think without even trying to, he's been one of those anti-image guys. You know, because like even the early pictures of him, he's just got short hair. He's just like a normal guy. But,
I always loved the photo of him wearing that Merciful Fate 9, the one with the skull.
Yeah,
I didn't realize what that was for so long. I thought I thought it was just like a skull shirt, and I was like, oh, that's a Merciful Fate shirt.
No, Merciful Fate, man. Yeah,
that's so sick.
But yeah, Crucifier is fucking amazing, and
like those iconic photos of them in the attic.
Oh with
those bloody nun statues.
Yeah. The attic pictures of GBK are fucking awesome. That was like mocking era.
Yeah. And then the rehearsal pictures of them with the Reservoir Dogs posters in the back.
That was funny.
Sick. But so I think this is a good way to kind of transition to our. So we're going to talk about the 4 full links in this podcast, and we can do a follow-up episode where we talk about their demo era, which deserves its own episode within itself, because I think those are so foundational and so unique in terms of like US black metal demos. But this episode specifically, we're going to talk about their studio albums, and obviously with the first one being Mocking the Philanthropist, which I think is their longest. It's over an hour.
Absolutely. Yeah. That album is so fucking long.
Yeah, it's over an hour, and I've revisited all 4 LPs over the last couple weeks, and I hadn't listened to Mocking the Philanthropist in full in such a long time. There is a lot of I think there are a ton of amazing moments and amazing songs on that LP, but I think it does kind of border into the kind of meandering territory a little bit, where it's like, okay, this is they had a vision, but they hadn't quite honed their songwriting in yet. They hadn't reeled it in, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, well, okay, so there is a little bit of that. I'm always going to defend that album and its length. It's long, but and then they like were just made the total Chad move of like, oh, you think it's too long? We're gonna reissue it, call it Castrate the Redeemer, and it's got like bonus tracks, so it's like even longer. But yeah, that album is it's like 105 minutes, so it's like hour 15, something like that. But yeah, it's really, really long. And
the lore with that is sorry to interrupt, but I know one of those weird tidbits is that allegedly the master tracks came out to, it was an hour, it came out to exactly 666 like minutes, seconds. Okay. So it was, but they didn't plan for it, but it literally was at exactly like 666.
Yeah, they've got the instrumentals, and those are kind of like, I mean, they're there. They've always done that, I guess. Well, since then, and maybe before. Some of those may not be absolutely necessary. And there's some songs that are probably, like you said, they're a little meandering, but it starts out with Foul Parody, and that's like the best opener. You know, the only other song that could have opened that better than Foul Parody is Shimham Farash, which was on the demos, but
Sumerian Fairy Tale.
Yeah, Sumerian Fairy Tales is a good one, but like Lord Fag Pussifarian. Yeah. Oh my god. But yeah, Foul Parody is such a fucking just killer fucking metal song.
When it kicks into that Merciful Fate riff,
yes,
dude, it's game over.
That's
game over.
Yeah, game over. It's like that was the point where you're like, okay, this is different. You know, no one does shit like that. No one was doing shit like that. There were bands that played metal and black metal that had strong metal influences, but it felt contrived, and in that context, it absolutely did not. I mean, the opening riff of Foul Parody, it's a metal riff, but it's, I don't know, it's thunderous, you know. And my favorite song on that album, my two favorite songs are "Slums of Jerusalem," or maybe it's "Reflections of the Coffin Lid." One of the two. It's the two songs with like the slow kind of breakdowns.
Yeah.
And the other one being "Conspicuous Imagery Adorns the Nunnery." That song fucking rules too, man. But like there's something about that album, and like the first part of it is really strong, and then it can get to the point towards the end where it starts to sound like like almost like album oriented rock as far as like black metal goes, because there's so much of it. They could have edited it. I'm glad they didn't, because it's such a fuck you. But like
it's a monumental slap.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It really is. But the more you listen to it, like I don't get bored of listening to that album. The only reason I would ever turn it off is because I just don't have an hour to sit and listen to it, even if I'm doing something, not like at a stereo, if I'm like in my car or something listening to it. But
I used to listen to that record in full at my first job ever, washing dishes in the back of a restaurant.
Yeah, I mean it's perfect, man. It's so good. And but like then you get to the very end, like Holocaust Trumpeter, like that song is long in itself, and it's the last track. That one's pretty epic too, though, man. Like, but I feel like there's just a couple tracks that may be a little almost like filler, but again, I think they were finding
they repeat riffs like probably a few times too many, but it's, you know, to you got to think about it too. This was like this is their first album out of the gate, so we're making minor criticisms. Like this I would say this is like a 9 out of 10 album. So
yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, it came out in 1997, and like no one was doing that shit in 1997.
No.
1997 was when bands were getting really big, and Century Media was picking up everything and exploiting the hell out of it and making everything as gay as possible. Like Emperor had already sold out. All the band, like Samael was doing garbage. And I'm just naming big bands that got on big labels, and like Nuclear Blast, like Dissection being one of the only bands that didn't totally just like polish up everything. But like, yeah, 1997, that coming out, and people were polarized about it. They were like, like a lot of my friends.
This isn't black metal.
Well, they said that, or they just said they hated it. They're like, this sucks. It fucking sucks, man.
I've heard that, and I cannot see any reality where I listen to this record and I say it sucks. I'm sorry, I just don't.
Because you liked it when you first heard it. These are people that were already involved in the underground, and they heard it, and when it first came out, and they were like, they didn't like it, they didn't care for it. They may have grown into liking it. I know one of my friends specifically, like he never liked it. He still doesn't like it, and he's been in the underground as long as me. He just never cared for it. I think he may have come around on Judeobeast, but I don't know. I can't remember, but he's always kind of stuck to his guns, to where like he doesn't like GBK. But
do you think it was so I've kind of put myself into the shoes of someone who, you know, because I've listened to plenty of stuff that was coming out in the underground from around that time, just for that perspective and that I guess that connotation of, okay, what were people expecting from a black metal band, let alone a US black metal band? Was it just the heavy metal aspects that alienated people? Were they not expecting that?
I think so. I think it was that. I also think it was the vocals. Like, people
I love the vocals, dude.
Yeah,
Okay, so I sorry to interrupt, but one of the things I wanted to bring up is, one of my favorite parts about the mix of this record is that Kaz's vocals are kind of pushed to the back but it gives him this haunting in the parts where he's doing the "so will be." He's doing almost this like demonic, it's like this oration. You imagine this like church service almost, like he's giving out like a sermon, like I love that aspect about this record, and people complain about and this is not me saying it. I've heard people say it, and his drums are somewhat sloppy, which I think Bill gets much
fucking stupid,
so much character to the record. I love his random fills, and I think he had like those what are those
rototoms?
Rototoms, yeah. He had those
small ones,
those rototom fills, which just add so much character to this record, and they almost feel like random, like he just improvised it. But it's just that in combination with his they're not traditional black metal vocals, but they have such character, and that's what I love so much about it.
So I'll say this. I was going to bring this up earlier, but is a perfect segue for this. You said earlier that you liked the way Richard Mills' vocals were venomous or spitting. So I'll
sarcastic.
Say sarcastic. Yes. Now with Kaz, the Black Lord of Crucifixion, oration. He's like an orator, and that's perfect. It's a perfect description of it. It feels like, because he does. It's not like it's not way up front like a growl or like a screechy black metal. It's very like it's like he's demanding your attention, and it's like a priest. It's like a black priest, know. And then he does the clean stuff. That's just, it's so fucking original and amazing and original and evil sounding. And then when you get to Kosher Rat, then you have Richard. It sounds spiteful, and it's venomous. It's more hateful. And not saying that Kaz isn't hateful sounding, but like it's more tough and like just fucking like commanding. You know what I mean? Like it's more like he's marching on your fucking throat and preaching to you. And Richard was more like it was an attack. And the spitefulness, I think that was another good point you bring up. It's what did you say? Was it spiteful? But it was like mocking, but like mocking the Philanthropist. But that's been their thing. They're mocking. They're using that like they're not preschool. Fucking
like nursery rhymes almost.
No. What's the fucking thing in church with the kids?
Oh, like Sunday school.
Yes, like the Sunday school. Like my first fucking.
Like the study
illustrated Bible.
Yeah, illustrated Bible.
And they just took that art and put corpse paint on it. People saw that and thought it was cheesy. I knew exactly what they were doing. I think that it was a very U.S. black metal thing to do. We should probably eventually do an episode on U.S. black metal, because I have my thoughts on that. But like, it was I think it's perfect, and I love that they have kept it for every fucking album.
It's
Not
so
every
unique,
release, but it's very unique, and it's very, very fitting, and it's and it fits. It's literally mocking it.
Talk about a complete affront to religion. A lot of black metal attempts to be anti-religion, or attempts to be blasphemous, but when you look at these are literally fucking blasphemous record covers. You cannot get any, like, just drawing the corpse paint on Jesus, drawing the corpse paint on these biblical figures, and with you can tell like as little effort was put into it, but that's what makes it so brilliant, is that
absolutely
it's just there, and immediately what you can pinpoint a GBK album cover out of a lineup of 1,000 records.
Yeah, you don't even have to. You can see it from across the room. It's got the certain color palette, and then the stark black of the corpse paint. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
he's holding up. What is that? That's the mocking. Yeah,
and I got my Wood Nymph Records bumper sticker.
Oh, that's fucking killer, man.
Hell yeah!
I've got the original CD came with a Wood Nymph sticker. I think I still have it as a collector. I never put that on anything. Oh, there you go. Blue Eye Devils thing. Yeah. But yeah, man, it's very distinct, and that album has got some real. I love where they use the church organs, in which is just kind of like an evil black metal thing, but it's also.
It's tastefully done.
It's tastefully done, but it's also in a mocking way of the church and Christianity and everything, you know.
Exactly.
So,
and talk about another thing about Grand Belial's Key is their lyrics, and there's a lot of hubbub made about their lyrical topics or whatever, but I think that comes from kind of an misinformed and honestly. It's a bad faith representation of what GBK is, because every other black metal band is allowed to be against religion, but just because they are against a specific, they're blasphemous against the Old Testament. They're very blasphemous against these ancient texts, which should be allowed within black metal. But the fact that I guess there were certain. We can talk about this too, which the controversy with the Wood Nymph release was, I guess there was a shirt on one of the prints or shirt in the booklet that people had an issue with. That I think it was a Bound for Glory shirt that the bassist was wearing. He wasn't even present on the recording of this. It was just like a rehearsal photo, but apparently it caused issues with distribution in Europe, and that kind of started the long. But to their credit, Wood Nymph did not back down. They literally they folded. They were like, "Fuck it, we're gonna get rid of these, but we're not censoring it."
Yeah, that was the beginning of the no boycott can stop us.
Right.
They don't even. I don't even think they show those pictures on fucking Discogs for obvious reasons. But
I got the scarf.
Oh yeah, the scarf. Yeah, I've got one of those. I feel weird wearing it, but I didn't buy it. A friend of mine gave it to me, and it's cool, But
I wear it, dude.
I should wear it, man.
Dude, I'm such a mark for this band. You have no idea.
I just don't wear band stuff, man. I try not to wear too many band things, but
dude, I'm unashamedly a mark.
I get
for this
it
band.
though.
I don't care.
I get it. Man, I wish I should have brought my fucking CDs in here, but there was it's the bass player, what you call it, Der Sturmer.
Yeah,
he's wearing a Bound for Glory.
Yeah, it's a Bound for Glory shirt, and
that because they had European distribution through Hammerheart, and back then, I mean, things weren't as bad back then, but you still can't get away with certain things. You know what I mean? So I'm sure that was probably one of the reasons. And then, but I'm glad Wood Nymph kind of stuck to their guns. But I
mean, it's legendary to this day. It's like if you have one of those Wood Nymph releases, that's gold.
Yeah. That's the CD. I don't have the original LP. I have the CD. The original CD, because it was tough to get in the States, unless you paid a fucking fortune for it.
Yeah, you're still even though they were a U.S. black metal band, you still had to import.
Yeah, you still had to import it, and not all the distros carried them. It was I forget, and I think it was just him. He was the only one wearing a bass.
Well, there was also the Spear of Longinus long sleeve.
Well, that wasn't on Mocking though. That was on.
Are you sure? I'm pretty sure there was a promo photo of him wearing the SOL shirt. I could be wrong.
That wasn't out in 1997. So
that might have been on a
because Richard put that. That's on Vinland Winds. It probably is. I know the picture you're talking about, and there's definitely a picture of them wearing an SOL shirt, because I have that SOL shirt.
Yeah, same.
But it wasn't on that album. I don't think. Well, someone will correct us in the comments, but I'll have to look later. I'm gonna have to start bringing the shit into my little hovel here and bringing the stuff with me to reference. But yeah, I knew about the controversy, and that sucks that it didn't get spread, but it didn't stop them. The shit was everywhere,
and I think that was kind of the beginning of them. Almost being relegated, and willingly so, to a specific type of scene, where they're like, okay, we have nothing in common with what they've called the Thunderground, and that's kind of it's a term that they've almost coined at this point. But I think it's very appropriate because there's a distinct split. Okay, we are not like you guys. We are not. They were still playing shows occasionally with those type of bands, but as we mentioned before, they had their own, unique attitude that they brought to not only a live performance, but just kind of it's for lack of a better term, it was a fuck you attitude. We're not changing. We like what we like. We know, that we make, kick-ass music. Good luck trying to write better shit than us. It was almost this like confidence from the beginning to just have a vision and stick to it, which I think is paid off now, because it's now, they're a legendary band. So many bands from that era are just forgotten, and for a band to kind of have a resurgence like they have, it was like, it's the taste of the scene now, but it's like that. I made a meme about it on my Instagram where it's the Back to the Future where Marty McFly is playing the Chuck Berry. Is like, you guys weren't ready.
Oh
I guess you guys aren't ready for it, but your kids are gonna love it.
Okay, so we are both right. There was or you were right, rather. There is, so he is wearing a Spear of London shirt, but it's a Domini Nazi shirt, not the one with the sun wheel that Richard put out for in the Tyons era. So he's wearing that shirt, and then what's his name? Der Stürmer is wearing a jacket that has it's Bound for Glory, and it's got a Thor's hammer on it. So yeah, we were both right, kind of, sort of. So, but you were right. It was an SOL shirt.
That's how autistic we are. Is we can call out the exact like promo photos of these records.
Oh yeah, I mean, dude, Spirit of Longin, I'll say it every fucking episode of that. It's one of the best fucking bands ever. Flawless discography. Nothing wrong with anything they've ever done. So, but yeah, that definitely set them apart. And then, so I think from that era of they started to get, so like I said, it wasn't really readily available everywhere like things are now. So, but it kind of spread, and it eventually got out and spread overseas, and it got more and more available. And I don't know if a reissue had come before Judeobeast came out or not. Let's see here.
Because there was that Castrate, you mentioned it earlier, the Castrate the Redeemer, which was a CD only release, I believe.
Right, correct.
And that was like they included it was like Mocking the Philanthropist plus additional tracks.
That was on Barbarian Wrath, another fantastic fucking label that did come out in 2001. So yeah, that came out around the same time as Judeobeast. So that helped it get around, because Barbarian Wrath had fantastic distribution everywhere. He was based in Germany, but he had really, everyone traded with him in the States. All the distros carried his stuff. He put out a lot of really good bands. He put out bands that I used to really not like, but have grown to like them a great deal, because he that guy had such a fucking vision. And I think he lives in the States now. I'm not sure if he still does, but Did he run
ads in the back of Metal Maniacs?
I'm not sure if he did Metal Maniacs or not. I can't remember. I have boxes of Metal Maniacs. I have to go check, but it's possible. But man, you couldn't fucking get a package anywhere around that time without getting a goddamn flyer or 10 of shit that he was doing. So, but yeah, he put out the Castrate the Redeemer thing with the bonus tracks.
And that CD is like what, an hour 20 something? It's like hour 15 or something.
Yeah, let me check.
It's long. It's long.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it wasn't a double CD.
Yeah, I think they really pushed the max on that. I don't know how CDs keep getting longer. It seems like I remember when I first got a CD, they were like, you can only put 70 minutes or 74 minutes, but now there's like 80-minute CDs or something. I'm
think
sure
it's like
someone will correct us in the comments.
Oh, but, God! No, I think it's has to do with like compression and all that shit.
Okay, so it is 1 hour, 18 minutes, and 18 seconds, motherfucker. That's an hour and 20-minute album on CD, and it's just got 3 bonus tracks. So
yep,
that's awesome. I mean that's such a. I mean the artwork is slightly different. Well, it's completely different. But,
I love that artwork with the guy being led to the execution.
Yes, well, it's Jesus Christ. It's not the guy. it is the Redeemer and the Philanthropist, man. Yeah, that's they didn't have to do the corpse paint on that one. It was just like, the Romans are taking him, so
the message was clear.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that album that's probably my favorite version to listen to, just because it's got the bonus tracks. And it's an hour and 20 minutes.
I've never picked that up. For some reason, that's always eluded me. I've always wanted to get that.
Well, it says it was only available in 666 copies here, so I didn't know that. But that makes
I've seen
sense.
it on eBay every once in a while. It's one of those things.
It's not really. I don't guess it's really sought after as a collector's item, because that material is available at other places. But I like it because it's all in one place, and it's great just to have it.
I have first getting into GBK, I remember a lot of the like hardcore scene dudes had GBK albums, which always like struck me as interesting. Like they were I found out about GBK from a dude that was heavily involved in hardcore. And because he knew I was into, like, I was like the metal guy at hardcore shows or whatever, and he was like, dude, you need to check out GBK. And obviously it became my favorite band ever, so that was a good call. But he was like a full on just youth crew guy, not involved in sketchy shit at all or whatever you want to call it. But he had a Wood Nymph Records LP, and I always remember at his going through his collection, like he had sparse black metal stuff, but that stuck out to me. I was like, okay, so what is it about this band that appeals to like the hardcore scene? I think it is those like moments where I wanted to bring this up earlier, is that you do have it's like a soundscape they create. You go slow, you go fast, you have moments of, you have the keyboards, you have the moments where Kaz is talking in his like orator voice, like you shall not, like all that stuff. And then it rewards you by giving you these fucking epic moments. And I use that word seriously. I know that word is like thrown around a lot, but they have these Merciful Fate, King Diamond. People have brought up Running Wild, and apparently Galal had never listened to Running Wild. Like I listened to read an interview, and he was like, "Yeah, I didn't listen to Running Wild, but it was like a case of parallel, I guess, writing or whatever." But it has those moments where it just explodes in these like. It's this total energy that very little other black metal bands are able to capture.
Well, it's one word, man. Riffs. He's got riffs, and I think that might be what threw some people off. Is he's got fucking riffs. There's hooks and there's catchy parts, and there's nothing wrong with that because they're good. Because again, I said it before, everybody got into metal. Something got your attention. You didn't listen to metal the first time and think like, oh, this sounds like shit, I love it. You got into metal like listening to Black Sabbath or Slayer. I fucking hope you did listen to Black Sabbath, Slayer, Motley Crue, Iron Maiden, anything, because of the fucking riffs, man. There's riffs and there's hooks, and you think, oh, I like that, and then you dig deeper because it becomes an obsession. I mean, that's what happened to me. I was fucking 8 years old, and I heard fucking like Shout at the Devil at my neighbor's house, and then he's like, well, then there's this song. I was a kid, he was 18, and then he fucking played oh fuck, I think it was Ride the Lightning or so. Yeah, there you go. That's the best drum sound ever. He's showing his tape. That's the tape I have, man. I fucking love that album.
It's an original Shout at the Devil.
Yeah, Shout at the Devil is like one of the best albums, the best drum sound ever. People like Led Zeppelin, but fucking and like
it sounds massive,
dude. It's gigantic, dude. It's fucking huge. Those drums, it's the most evil. A buddy of mine, that's, I wish I could say his name because I know he found us by accident, but he says like the only like Shout at the Devil is their black metal album. Like that's an evil fucking album, and it's not because there's devil in the thing, but it's an evil sounding album, man. But that album has got hooks. Like that was the shit that got me. And I was like, holy fuck, dude, this is the best. I want everything to sound like this. I want everything. And my first Slayer album was Live Undead, which was a really weird one to start with. But it was the one with, like, Haunting the Chapel as bonus tracks. But, like, that shit is what got my attention, and I just went more and more extreme, you know, from there. And like, which, you know, being that young, getting into metal, like, it wasn't as obsessive as it is now, but or became. But as I got older and I stuck with it and kept listening to Metallica, kept listening to Slayer, and even then I could see, like, these bands are getting fucking gay, but their old shit is so influential, man. And I think these guys, excuse me, were this like they it's the riff, dude. And GBK has riffs. And you mentioned King Diamond and Running Wild. I think I'm right on this. Again, someone will correct me in the comments, but I believe it's Virgin Steel that is Galal's big influence. Or that might be... Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I believe that's for Argus Lent, but which is a separate show. But one of his big influences is Virgin Steel, not Running Wild, because I always thought that too. Early Running Wild is fantastic. I don't like Virgin Steel. I can't listen to that and think, man, I'm gonna make a fucking racist death metal band. But like, but Merciful Fate for sure. I'm not sure if you knew this, but Galal, and I'm not sure how many other band members of the band did this, but he was in a King Diamond cover band. I'm not sure if it was just King Diamond and Merciful Fate, or like one or the other or both. But did you ever know that? I used to have footage of it. It might still be on. I'm sure someone has put it on YouTube. But were you aware of that?
Was this pre-GBK?
It was during the early days.
No, I did. I was not aware.
Lord Pussy Fag Luciferian, whatever his name is, he may have been in there too. But it was a cover band, and I mean, they didn't do anything outside of. I don't think they would have done anything much past like Virginia and that area, you know, DC, Virginia, like the southern area and the East Coast. But yeah, I've seen some video of it. It was fucking phenomenal, man. And
it's interesting you bring up that, because there was like almost this like Virginia mafia. You have like Deceased, you have Doomstone, you have a couple of other bands that were bringing in that it was like the death metal sound, but then they had the heavy metal influence. And I think that scene specifically had bled into, you know, and then obviously Crucifier is a Pennsylvania based band.
Yeah,
I always considered them adjacent to the Virginia scene.
Absolutely. Twisted Tower Dyer is a band.
Yes. That band's awesome.
I believe those guys were from. Those guys either share. I don't think this is secret information. I think those guys shared members with maybe one of those bands, or maybe just the cover band. Mm-hmm. That would make sense. That band is phenomenal, even if you don't like power metal and stuff. I was never a huge power metal guy, but I was at some metal fest one time in either the 90s or early 2000s. I believe it was late 90s, and Twisted Tower Dyer played, and holy fuck did they rip the roof off the place. Like, I became an instant fan. Like, I thought it was going to be corny, but Jesus Christ, man, they were so fucking powerful. And that's what it was. It was powerful. It was power and riffs. And it always goes back to riffs, man.
Exactly.
Like Tony Iommi invented them, and you have to do it, man. That's where heavy metal comes from, is fucking riffs, dude. And that's what...
Deceased too. I mean, they're a band
absolutely.
That is very dodgy with their discography, but their good records are phenomenal. Like Luck of the Corpse is one of my favorite death metal records of all time.
Yeah, and that's real death metal. And that guy that didn't like GBK, I have to be careful not to say names on here, but like the guy that didn't like GBK, he always said, and this is really retarded, but I think everybody will get it. Like, there's death metal, and then there's death metal.
Yeah.
Like metal death. Like Deceased is death metal. You know
it's
what I mean?
metal. It's metal, but it has like the darkness. Like,
yeah, exactly.
The term darkness and evil. J-Dog. he's always bringing that up. But it is true, you know, because there is a distinction. You know, Cannibal Corpse, Morbid Angel, that's death metal with a capital D, capital M. But then you have death metal, which is a completely different thing, where they did not lose the heavy metal influence. Obviously, there are so many bands that kind of lost that original. What drew us to metal was the riffs, like you said. Like, it's okay to have some melody thrown in there. It actually makes shit sound more evil when it's not just chromatic scaled, bizarre, zero, what was it, like mixolydian, like all that stuff that kind of the later era Death threw in, like the technical shit and all that.
Yeah.
You lose what drew most people to metal, which is that feeling you get when you hear a good riff. And I think that's why GBK has stood the test of time, is that you do have, obviously the black metal influence is there, and they are a black metal band, but they also do have just the you can call them also a heavy metal band, because they have those moments and they have that. It's such an intrinsic part of their DNA that to remove that takes away so much of the identity of what makes them cool.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I was just looking at it, and yeah, Twisted Tower Dire guys were in GBK and Argus Lent. So again, riffs.
Yep.
It's riffs. And
Doomstone is another. Are you familiar with Doomstone? They're sick.
Yeah.
They're sick.
Yeah, those guys. I think Demonic.
Yeah.
Was in Doomstone as well. He was in that band, fucking While Heaven Wept, I think, which is fucking sus. But we'll just leave that alone.
Yeah, no, I picked up someone recently repressed the Doomstone LP, and I picked that up not too long ago.
Yeah, Doomstone's good shit, man. That was out in '91, and was it the first album, Those Whom Satan Hath Joined? Is that the name? Is that
yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, that one fucking rules, man. It has that like awful, almost like computer generated graphics.
Yeah,
where it looks like Nintendo or something, man. It's really cool, but that's good shit, man. Like that
it's
stuff,
that DNA of that Virginia scene. Something was in the water.
Something's in the water in fucking Virginia, man. It's great. I love that state, man. It's fantastic. Virginia and West Virginia, but something about Virginia, and it's right there. Like Northern Virginia, like where GBK's from, like it's almost in DC, so you're on the cusp of like total garbage, because it's like outside of Washington DC, where the government and all that shit is.
DC's
like,
a shithole.
It's a fucking shithole, dude. It is an absolute fucking trash.
Dude, I walked through the ghetto one time.
I played there. Oh, I have too, man. I've played in Northern Virginia. I played in the DC area, and it is fucking dangerous. I'm not intimidated by many things like in those like circumstances, but I'll be goddamned if I didn't keep my fucking wits about me in outskirts of fucking DC, man.
Yeah, one time
it is sketchy, man.
me and my brothers and dad walked through the literal fucking heart of the beast in DC. It was insane.
Yeah. I was in where was it? It was fucking Oakland. I was in Oakland alone. And these guys were like, you probably shouldn't be by yourself. And I was like, this is nothing. Like, this is not that bad. But then, because I had been years earlier, like, because it was nothing compared to fucking DC, man. Like, it was slums and, like mid-90s Chicago, like the Cabrini Green era. I don't know if you know about that.
Oh, yeah. That's Chicago, where, that's Candyman, right?
Yeah, dude, like that I've been to all that shit in those eras. That was rough, dude. Like Oakland in 2011 was nothing. It was just like dark with some dark people. It wasn't bad. Like it was not like it felt dangerous back then, which I think that probably, like, to get back on topic, it probably lent to some of the vibe of that metal, and GBK especially. Like, it's dark and it's sketchy in a different way, and because it's a real contrast too. You can be in a city, and then you can be in, like, there's a lot of country out there and a lot of woods and mountains and shit. So yeah, it's an interesting part of the United States for sure, and I'm glad we have a scene like that. It's weird how we have pockets of that stuff around the country, because it's not everywhere. Yeah,
the U.S. has never been a unified scene. It's always had like
thank God.
Yeah, it's always had like certain cities have had unique sounds that have popped up, which has always been pretty cool.
Yeah, it's good.
Like when you hear Finland, like there's two kinds of Finnish death or Finnish black metal. There's like the Franco-Finnish hypermelodic stuff, and then there's the more like the Ripe for Revenge, early Beharit, like ultra, doomer
raw stuff,
death shit. Yeah, but the U.S. scene has so many different sounds, which is kind of to map it all out would take forever.
Oh yeah, and it was the same with black metal too. Luckily that symphonic, really weak gay shit. Like, man, I wonder.
The Cascadian black metal shit.
Oh no, this was I'm talking about before that. That stuff's so fruity. That stuff I just don't acknowledge that stuff. That's just like SJW.
Yeah, it's totally irrelevant.
It's like girlfriend metal, dude. It's fucking. That's not real. Wolves in the Throne Room is not black metal. I saw those guys early on, and at first was like, oh, this is interesting, and then it just got worse. But I'm talking about like we never had in the early '90s. There was never like a big like symphonic black metal thing. Luckily, we weren't known for that. People were always like, "Oh, you're ripping off Norway and this like you're just gonna do this in the States." Like, no, back then everybody was like, "Fuck Norway." That was what people chanted at shows back in the day, is "Fuck Norway," because we had bands like Vaughn and we had GBK, Profanatica when they were good. We had goddamn Masochist, which doesn't get near enough fucking
that's an awesome
enough
band.
praise. That band fucking rules. That's one of my top USB bands, and I'm forgetting some obviously, but like those bands are all fucking mean. They didn't have the super fruity keyboards, and the bands that did have the keyboards were fucking evil, like fucking Gonculator and Black Massive Absu. Both of those. Black Massive Absu is one of the best fucking US black metal bands ever. It's so ignorant and just off the fucking wall, and if you're not familiar, you should definitely familiarize yourself.
Black Massive Absu is sick. Also, Wind of the Black Mountains is awesome.
Oh, absolutely. That band is... Oh, God. Man, I'm going to be up all night listening to shit that we've talked... All I want to do right now is listen to Winds of the Black Mountains and fucking Twisted Tower Dire for the rest of the night. But, yeah, Winds of the Black Mountains, that one was a band that people... It had members of fucking Masochist. So, like,
That's what made me think of them.
Yeah. Like, that first album by Winds of the Black Mountains is so fucking bonkers, man. It's not like anything else.
The Sing Dao and Holy Servants.
Yeah, nothing sounds like that. And I like that. And it had some melodic parts, but it was very, very much its own thing, So I'm proud of America for doing that and kind of making their own thing.
Yeah, if you dig deep enough, there is a rich history of U.S. black metal.
Yeah. We're not all fucking fruity SJW fucking, rainbow queef fucking like vinyl collectors and like booger eaters, man. Like it's
we might
like
be nowadays.
That's what I'm saying. Now it is. It's all just I don't know, man. It's so fucking. It's just like a bunch of really sad short bus teenagers, like super eager to be friends with everybody and earn a heart reaction on fucking social media about their fucking their fucking unicorn cum fucking whatever vinyl, and then who's gonna fucking double tap the fucking screen and give me that fire emoji. Fuck that, dude. It wasn't always like that, man. There were some mean fucking bands, and Wind of the Black Mountains and fucking Masochist was the shit. Those were real deal guys, man.
I always love that promo photo of Wind of the Black Mountain where he's like fucking that chick in his rehearsal room.
Yes, and also heroin, and and then he died from that. But like that guy was the realest, man. Fucking and like he put out he did that Black Sun Shall Rise album, and it was different, but it was good, like it was different than the first one. It wasn't as insane as Sing Thou and Unholy Servants. And like I don't know if you've heard the demo or the 7-inch, but Force Fed into Blasphemy, like that 7-inch is like that came out in 1992, and I think I got it sometime in 93 or 94 from Moribund, and because they released it, and it's very simple cover. It's just got a goat on it, but it's a really long 7-inch. It's like almost 10 minutes long. It's like 9 minutes. The first song is like 6 minutes long, which is crazy for a 7-inch. But it is absolutely evil. Like it's fucking. it doesn't sound like anything else. And I think Short did everything on that, and it's absolutely nuts. And then he put out the Sing Thou and Holy Servants, and I don't think that band gets enough praise, but I'm glad it hasn't been exploited by all these fucking like Usual Suspect labels, like releasing like, you know, some obnoxious amount of copies in different variants and stuff. And like these people have died, so like I mean, it deserves to be reissued, but not just completely exploited by certain labels. You know,
I think it got reissued like a couple years ago, but it was kind of limited, and it was only in black, no color.
But that album is fantastic. I'm sorry for like getting away from the subject, but it's all Grand Belial's Key comes from the same energy. You know, it can't come from the same fucking cesspool of good bands, you know, black metal bands, and the same vitriol and hate of all these bands. Like before things like this is before the Thunderground, you know, like this is when the underground was real, and these guys were playing riffs, and that's fantastic.
I think this is a good time to transition to their second album.
Yes.
Judeobeast Assassination 2001, which is, I would say, top 3 black metal records ever for me personally. So some of my thoughts, this is their shortest album.
Yeah.
But with that, it's just so fucking straight to the point. It literally feels like you're being punched in the mouth. One of my notes I wrote down was, this is probably their most straightforward and heavy metal sounding album in their discography.
You think so?
I would say, because each track builds to a like devastating moment. You know, there is
that's true.
Each track has a completely fucking brutal, you know, they're not all like you have Tenderhearted's Manifesto, which has that awesome almost like breakdown riff at the end, which I'm not saying breakdown in the hardcore sense, but in like it builds so that you have like a chant that goes along with it. You have that explosion of just energy at the end. You had that melodic riff. It's so sick. And then you have a part like on Lamb of God, Slain Will Be, which builds up to that just. It's mournful, it's sorrowful, but it just has that fuck you attitude, which no other black metal band that I can think of, and I tried to think of it, no one has really brought up those feelings, especially when you listen to the entire album in whole, and then you get to that Lamb of God, Slain Will Be part, and it just keeps repeating, and it just feels so devastating each time it repeats. It's so good.
Yeah, that song, Lamb of God, Slain Will Be, like that one, that's one of the songs that it's got, it almost sounds like a song that could have been on Mocking, but it's got a little bit too much power, as far as, like, okay, so Judeobeast is very, it's a weird word to use, but it's got a lot of energy, it's got a lot of, momentum. You know, like where it's more focused. Like Mocking is perfect, and I love it. And I think I can never say that Judeobeast is their best album, but from an objective point of view, like it probably is their best album. Like everyone says that it's their best album. If you wanted someone to hear it and not get bored and get hooked on GBK, you would play them that album, because every single song is memorable. Every single song has a hook and a chorus or a riff or something that gets stuck in your head, and there's no exception. Even the instrumental it's catchy.
Yeah.
You know, but like Lamb of God, Slain Will Be is it's got that breakdown, and where it's just the guitars. That's very reminiscent of the songs that I like the most on Mocking. And then it goes into that super like chugging, like prideful riff, you know, of the chorus. Mm-hmm. But it's and then Satanic Hunt is pure just mean, you know, and then
Doves of Satanic Hunt. Dude, that part is so awesome.
It's a fist in the face, man. And then you have Doves of War, which if you read the lyric, now okay, I'll be honest, like if you read, I think I read the lyrics before I listen to the album, because I was sitting there in my chair, like reading, like studying the layout as I was listening to it. And like the last song, he's like naming the names of the band.
I was gonna say they build up their own. They build up their own mythology within this album. Like they're including the band members in the lyrics.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of cheesy at first, but like, man, it works. It's so iconic at this point, you know. And but that album, Doves of War, might be the next. It's one of the standout tracks, which is weird to be the last track on the album. Like,
and that solo is
absolutely, dude.
That's a legendary moment.
Yeah, the solo is insane, and it can be. I'm not saying this is not saying anything about Galal's guitar playing. It's a little sloppy, and you said that about people say Kaz's drums are sloppy. Like I don't like things that are 100% tight and perfect all the fucking time. That shit turns me off. Like if I'm listening to something, like a buddy of mine loves the new Mutilation album, and I'm sorry to sidetrack, but like it's got this, they've got a real drummer and it's got this perfect big studio production, and he thinks it's fucking amazing. And I'm like, this music is good, but it is not Mutilation. What I like about Mutilation is it's sloppy. That's what my favorite black metal is, sloppy. My favorite drummer of all time, besides Bill Ward, is fucking Capricornus. The best black metal drummer ever is Capricornus, because he's not technically proficient, but there's so much feeling. And like Kaz is, he can be a little sloppy, but it's not so sloppy that you're thinking, damn, dude, he just fucking dropped the ball right there.
No, it has a human element.
Exactly. It's a human element to it, and there's something to be said about the mechanics of a perfect performance. But like, on the same side of that coin, like when Mutilation used a drum machine, it sounded anti-human because the guitars were sloppy, the drums were perfect, and it was a drum machine, but it was not human. There's a humanness to it, and there's feeling to it, and there's feeling in that solo. That is a perfect solo. It's performed perfectly. It's a little sloppy though, but I wouldn't change a thing about it, because the mistakes, so to speak, are part of it. Like if he played it perfectly, he's probably played that song live and nailed it. And I'm like, well, that doesn't sound as good as the album because he didn't fuck up, you know?
Yeah, there is like a virtuosity to it, though. Yeah, it's just, you know, it's a shred moment, you know? Which,
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I love, you know, shred guitar, like Yngwie Malmsteen, Michelangelo Badio, like all that type of stuff, and that solo just reminds me of sitting down and trying to learn like sweep arpeggios and just fucking going for it, and he definitely went for it, and it paid off, you know, because it's a completely iconic moment.
I think that is the pinnacle of the album as far as emotion. Like that may not be everyone's favorite song, but I think everything leading up on that album, it's perfect that it's the last song, because everything leads up to that moment, and then the album's over, and that's when you fucking flip the record over and start it again with fucking Tenderhearted Manifesto, because that's what I did. I mean, I know everybody did, because it, like, that one I loved immediately. That one came out, I think I got it from, who pressed that vinyl? It was EAL, right? Did the vinyl. Like, Drakkar did the CD, but I
have the Drakkar repress from 2012.
I think the original came out on End All Life, and it had the G.G. Allen cover as a bonus
I kill
track,
everything I fuck.
Yeah, which is fucking perfect, man.
Oh yeah.
So
we can talk about their covers. Their covers are so cool.
Covers are End All Life came out, and it was in 2001. Yeah, that I got that package, and it was like, I forgot what else came with that, because I ordered a few things because it's coming from fucking France. But holy shit, man! I put it on, and my apartment was just like, the windows were probably rattling. It was in the middle of it was like in the middle of the day or something, like, and I put that on, and it was so goddamn loud. I just remember like that the fucking distorted bass starts that slide down. Yeah, dude, I was like, oh my god, this is a fucking punch in the face. And
that's one of the open with that song is such a because you know exactly, okay, we've changed direction slightly. We are more straightforward. We're more confident in what we're trying to do.
Yeah. That bass slide is the knife going into your throat, man. That's what that sound is. It's the knife going in. It's the boot stepping on your airway. Like, it's over, dude. It's fucking... Because you can't just listen to one song. Like, there's no... I mean, there probably are people, but you can't just make a playlist and just... I'm going to casually fucking add in... the shitagog. Like, no, dude, you gotta have every song on that fucking album because it's the whole what's that fucking math thing? The sum is the whole of its parts, whatever. It's perfect. It's perfect. And that's the reason I got the CD, because like I didn't want it to stop to like turn the record over. That's what I like. Certain albums I like to have on CD as well, or just on CD, because like you listen to it and the entire album is such a vibe that like it doesn't stop. And that's one of them, man, because it's start to finish, it doesn't stop. Like there's no filler on that album, whereas there was some filler in some people's opinions on Mocking. I love it, but Judeobeast is very condensed, it's very focused, and it's perfect all the way through.
And then you start hearing some more of their punk influences shine through on this record as well.
Yeah, and it's and that was kind of that was nice to hear too, because it was still aggressive, but it wasn't they could have just copped out and done some like dumb just standard power chord thing, or like some like thrash type of riff, but it was like the punk thing, which that goes in with the drums too. You gotta have the drums to make it sound like that, but it was perfect, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to pinpoint some of the influences where these big moments are coming from, like that ending riff at Tenderhearted's Manifesto where he's saying Christ, faggot, fondler, manhood, with that that iconic and it's just building up to that fucking explosion at the end. And it's like I would love to know what he was listening to kind of inform that. I'm not sure. Yeah. But that riff specifically sets the tone for the rest of the album to come. Like, okay, this is a game changer.
That song's got a great solo on it too, doesn't it? On
it does,
yeah, like that, because it kind of leads up to that with that chorus. And how great is it to see? I mean, you saw it live recently, man. The whole crowd singing that part together.
When I saw them in El Paso, when they got to the Tenderhearted's Manifesto, I'm not kidding, that was the most energy I've seen for a metal band. Yeah. I'm talking any metal band I've ever seen. That was, the entire crowd was losing their fucking mind. It was insane.
Yeah, it's again, man, hooks and riffs, man, and it's something about it. It's a fucking, the guy's, he's a good songwriter. I mean, it's evident with all of his projects. He can write a fucking good song, and I am glad that they have put out so many albums that are just like nearly perfect in every way. There's even the demo is great when it had what's his name on it, Lord Fag Pussy Fairy, and like that's not bad. I mean, their demos are iconic, obviously. Yeah. There's tons of songs on there that are like Enraptured by the Finger of Moon, I believe, is a demo song that they later... That's a great fucking song, man.
Re-recorded, and then...
Yeah, the re-recordings is something we could also talk about eventually, but like in the 7 inches, but normally when bands do that, when they re-record songs, they don't sound as good. It feels like a chore they're doing, or like filler to get something done, but when GBK does it, like, it's interesting because different people are playing it. And this might be a good segue into the next album, but we could spend some more time on Judeobeast if you want to. But
no, I think we can't really say any more than we already have, because it's if you're not familiar with this record, I don't know what you're doing listening to this. Go ahead and listen to listen to all these records, but listen to Judeobeast, especially if you're not familiar with Grand Belial's Key. You've heard, you know about their reputation. You've heard the name. You've seen their logo. Check out, from the very start of Tenderheart's Manifesto to the end of Doves of War, you'll understand. Okay, this is why people. And if you don't jive with this, I'm sorry, you're lost. You're a complete fucking dork who cannot appreciate good music, because this is what heavy metal is about. And I think not to glaze this too much, but this is I don't think you can get any better than this. I'm not looking, and I'm not looking for perfection in my metal. I'm looking for distinct, you can tell there's a human behind these songs. You can tell that they're actually playing it. You can tell that there's technique going into it. They actually improved as musicians between Mocking the Philanthropist, and like Kaz got tighter, his vocals improved, his cadence definitely became tighter than what it was on Mocking the Philanthropist. The solos became way more virtuosic. The songwriting just jumped up by tenfold, I would say, because between Mocking and Judeobeast, there was a, what was it, 97 was when Mocking came out, and then Judeobeast was 2001. So there was several years in between where these songs are being written and honed. I'm not sure how long they spent writing this record, but it definitely comes through that there was some maturity in the musicianship, which is present.
Yeah, I think that's all true, and it really shows like that there's feeling there, and there's conviction, and there's more attitude, I think, in Judeo. There's attitude in Mocking, but there's more the attitude just keeps growing with them. It feels like there was more attitude in Judeobeast, and I think the G.G. Allen cover was like I think that probably pissed some people off too, because they're like, oh my god, that's not black metal. But it's like, if you don't know who fucking G.G. Allen is, it's perfect, man.
There's a term. Go ahead.
I was kind of shocked that they covered G.G. Allen, because like they're kind of against all the degenerate type stuff.
I think it was meant to be kind of ironic.
Yeah, but like I don't know about ironic, but he's like the most fuck you guy ever.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's ironic in the fact that, okay, the whole attitude of G.G. Allen is perfect for a band like Grand Belial's Key, but obviously they're not backing what he was about. But it was the whole the idea behind the song was what was captured on there. And I think something that I keep a term that I keep coming back to with this record was outlaw. It feels like it's outlaw black metal.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Kosher Rat comes out, and it's even more so. Now, I'll say with Kosher Rat, I didn't care for it at first, which I think I've said this before. Which is usually a good sign. Usually, if I don't love something, if I didn't hate it, but if I think, this doesn't really jive quite yet, that's usually a good sign of something that's going to be timeless. Grow. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go into the follow-up to Judeobeast, which was Kosher Rat, which is 2005, right?
Yeah.
So there was what was that? There did they so another thing I wanted to ask you, since you were more involved, I was a fucking kid back in 2001. How were the shows that were you mentioned you saw them around that era? How was the scene responsive to them? Did they have like a big kind of cult following? Was the scene receptive to them? Were they kind of like outliers? Like what was the tone?
No, if you were there, I went to that show in New York, or Jersey rather, because of GBK and Profanatica. And Profanatica had just gotten back together. Paul Ledney had kind of had a resurgence. He had come back. He started doing Have a Hedge again. And he put together a lineup, and so he was going to do a show. That's always been one of my favorite bands up until that point. So again, Profanatica is a different subject, but That is like one of the true essences of U.S. black metal. It's really hard to think of that now with what it's become, and but so that was a big draw, but at the same time, like that back then, like people. Now it wasn't a huge turnout. Like this was, I guess, considered a fest, but it was. I think it was just one night. But it was a lot of bands. It started kind of later afternoon, and GBK played, and that there were crowds there, but it wasn't hundreds and hundreds of people. It was at a club, like you would see, not much bigger, or it was a little bigger as far as extended areas. Like you saw Argus Lent in Chicago, right?
No, I was not there.
Oh, you didn't go to that one. Okay.
I wanted to.
Yeah, that was our other friend. I didn't get to go either. I had tickets, but I didn't get to go. But anyway, it was like your standard. It was like a standard big bar venue. Like, did you ever go to fucking St. Vitus in New York?
Oh, dude, no. That was one of the things where I always made fun of that venue.
It's terrible. It's terrible. I've got my own stories about that.
It was the hipster.
But it's like that size. It's that size of a venue.
Yeah.
And then there was a pool table, but like people were into it. But the people that were there were all diehard internet people, or I'm sorry, not internet, diehard underground people that mostly knew each other from the internet. Like a lot of people were from all over the
forums.
country. Yeah, forums like the FMP forum,
Full Moon Production forum for
Full Moon Productions, and then oh man, there used to be a chat room on AOL called Unholy Metal that a lot of people were that I used to go into, and I'm sure a lot of underground people that may still be around today. Well, I know for a fact a lot of them are still around, but like those people were there, and it was a meeting of those people. And if you were into the underground and obsessed with the shit as much as possible, as much as the rest of us, you were probably already going to be into GBK. Like if you're into it, you're into a lot of the bands, because it's not like now where there's millions of fucking bands. Like it's there weren't as many. There were tons of demo bands that were fucking trash, but a lot of them didn't play live. So if you had a live black metal show, it was very rare. It was worth traveling to, and so the crowd was very into it. And if you're traveling, like I had to travel many hours to get there, and I think I drove to that instead of flying, which was a retarded fucking thing.
I've done that, dude. Where you're just like, I should have just fucking flew.
I mean, yeah, but I had some business to attend to also, and I couldn't do it over in a fucking plane. So like I had to drive, and like it was, but it added to it. It was. I fucking hate this word, man, but it's relevant. Like there was a sense of community. Like people knew each other, even if you didn't like their band, like you knew them and everybody respected the music, so there was a sense of respect.
It's like a meeting of personalities.
Yeah, exactly, man. And another fest that was like that in Texas in the 90s was the Sacrifice and the Nazarene Child. Like those fests were fantastic, man. And like,
did you go to those?
I went to the first 3 or 4, and man, I could say some shit, but I don't want to dox myself.
was that in San Antonio?
Yeah, it was in San Antonio.
Yeah,
all of them were in San Antonio. The venues just changed, but the first one was in a tiny little venue, but it was awesome. And Judas Iscariot played. That was awesome. And not all the bands were great. A lot of them were fucking really bad, but the ones that did play that were really good were fucking great. And that was the same thing. Like there would be some bad bands, but man, like you enjoyed yourself, because everybody was a diehard. It wasn't like now where diehard's a trademark that helps you sell a certain version of your fucking albums on a colored vinyl. Like you were a diehard metalhead if you're driving or flying. Motherfuckers took buses from Canada. Like Bernie from Lust, who used to be a good friend of mine, like
oh man,
he took a fucking bus down, and like I don't know if they flew down, like, AMSG played. No, not AMSG, or Ouroboros played, which all those guys are in the same band, same cities and everything. I don't know if those guys took a bus or if they fucking flew down, but like that was diehard shit. Like, to come that far to play in essentially a bar in San Antonio, Texas, but everybody was fucking nuts. I wouldn't change anything about seeing that show. It was fantastic, man, and there were some local Texas bands that played that weren't very good, but it was still enjoyable to see. You know, I'm not gonna name names. I don't want to talk too much shit, but like, it was still good. It was a good. It sounds fruity, but it was a good time. You know, there wasn't any drama, and if there was, it was sorted out real fucking quick, and it was very well put together. And I miss it, you know, because everyone there was into it. I'm sure there were some posers there, but even the posers weren't that bad off. You know, it wasn't like it is now, where like 90% of the crowd is just totally fucking insufferable. So that's how it was at the GBK show too. Is there's a lot of the same guys that went to New York and New Jersey to see that were also in Texas to see those shows. So you got to notice those people. That was the scene back then, you know. So, and they wrote about that in Pit Magazine, I think. And I think Mark Riddick did a blurb at the end of one of the Pit magazines about the Sacrifice and the Nazarene Child, the first one, and he was talking about like the camaraderie that was there and how it was strong, and like people, like even if you weren't in a band, there was like people there that were just notorieties of the scene, you know, and a lot of us knew each other from chat rooms or from writing letters and demos, and most people had bands of some kind, you know. So
yeah, it seemed like back then it was either you had a zine, you had some sort of like distro list, you were involved in a band, you ran a label. It was very tight knit, you know. Yeah,
well, involved is the key word. You were involved because you loved it, and even if you didn't play an instrument, you were involved somehow. You were supporting it somehow, and it wasn't as easy as firing off an email or posting something or touching your iPhone screen twice to show support. It was, I'm going to make a fucking magazine. And I would get all those magazines, and I would read them cover to cover, and a lot of them sucked, but man, it was fucking cool, because all those guys printed everybody's flyers in there. They would take the flyers and print them in the magazines, and man, there were so many free zines back there. Like, you would go to, you would order from certain labels, and you would get, like, we talk about styro, like things that are styro to fill up orders, like CDs. You would also get zines. There were plenty of styro zines, but the styro zines were fucking great. I used to keep those next to my toilet. You know, that was like the bathroom reading, was the styro zines, man. But
I got I'm trying to look for the book. It was Death, what was it called? Death Vomit. It's like a compilation of all these old it's like a 90s zine. I'm trying to find it.
Was that one of the Riddick brothers that did that?
It might be. Where is it? I'm trying to find it. Here it is. Yeah, it's like a Razorback Records actually put this out.
Oh, cool. Very cool. Yeah, Razorback's a great label. Like, they don't do a lot of black metal stuff, but that guy's been around for fucking ever, man. Hell yeah, dude. That looks awesome.
There's an Argo Slint feature in this, which is pretty cool. Nice. It was when they were doing the Entity era, yeah, that stuff, but yeah, all just really, dude, if you want a cult just reference guide for some of the stuff that was going on in the underground scene, picking up one of these like old Funeral, look at that, that's so sick.
Yeah, hell yeah, man.
All these old zine. I do like that they're I know that they're doing that Slayer mag. There's like a whole series where they're putting out like hardcover versions of those zines, but yeah, Order from Chaos. I know that that is kind of the trinketization of the underground,
the funkification of the underground, man.
Exactly.
Fuck that shit, dude. Burn all that down. No one needs a fucking hardcore hardback.
Look at that.
Fucking, yeah, that's great, man. Oh, that's like an old version of the logo.
Yeah, old. There is dude. So I've always wanted, dude. Have you seen? So I have the here. I'll pull it out, and people can. I don't think this exists anywhere online, and no one has posted it in a while. but I have it's the Argo Slant demo LP that Drakara put out several years ago now at this point. But let me see if I can find it. There's a really cool part of it that says it's an alternate version of their logo that says sent in by an yeah, see, look at that. Sent in by an inmate.
I can't see that because of the color. Oh, yeah, I see that. Yeah. Awesome, man.
And it says above it says logo sent in by an inmate.
Wow, yeah, that was a thing too back then. Is people in jail?
Yeah, prison.
I used to trade with guys. Well, not really trade with guys. Like in Metal Maniacs and certain zines, they had like a pen pal kind of thing, and you could and like inmates would they could get magazines, and some of them could get CDs. And the guys that could get CDs, I would always send them like some of my styro. Not to be a dick, but you never know like what someone's gonna like, and I would send them extra copies of shit. And like, but like, yeah, it was always cool getting stuff, and I would always tell those guys send me some art or draw something, you know, and it was always fucking cool.
Yeah,
you know, I didn't get a ton of art, but like, I wish I may have some of it, but you also got to be kind of careful. So.
Yeah, I've never been to prison, but a few of my tattoos are from dudes have been in prison who do prison art.
Yeah,
so.
I've never been in prison, but I've definitely got some tattoos from some sketchy guys.
I got all the. I love prison art and shit like that.
Oh, so yeah, me too.
I got tons of it, but anyway, I also got the
Oh man.
no Thor's hammer.
Yeah, no Thor's hammer.
That's actually the Graveland Thor's hammer.
Thor is gay. But so back to Kosher Rat. Yeah, it's a great fucking album. It's what I was gonna say is I think that maybe on Judeobeast they tuned down a little bit. Their guitars was a little heavier, but Kosher Rat seems even heavier. Like it's a heavier album.
The feedback on it's crazy.
Yeah, the feedback is great, and I wonder if it was a thing where they were approaching it from a musical standpoint, where Richard Mills, like where his range vocally, it sat better with a more tuned down guitar, or if it was just like these songs are fucking more filthy. It's a filthy album. It's really dirty. It's really venomous, and they recorded a few songs.
Son of the Black Ram.
Yeah, so Son of the Black Ram, Trifiction of Swine, which is one of my favorites, and I like that version and the original. But and then was Kingdom of Poison Fruits, I think, was on another one. Someone's gonna get me in the comments.
That might have been on one of their EPs. Their EPs
it was on
7 inches or
Trifiction of Swine 7-inch had Son of the Black Ram and Kingdom of Poison Fruits. Now I like Kaz's version a lot on that 7-inch, but the version. But Richard Mills' version is just as poisonous, man. It's just a little bit different.
It almost sounds like he's spitting the lyrics.
Yeah, and then
no other. So I read the Kosher Rat is the most recent full length I listened to. I was listening to that earlier today, and yeah, between just the. When they're not playing, like when they're not actively playing, just the amount of swelling feedback on it is
I love it, man.
Crazy. I almost wonder if they recorded it live, like in a room.
Yeah, that was my thing. It's probably recorded live. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I record bands live all the time. Not now as much, but like I've done it, and it's fucking. It's more energy, and the energy's definitely there, you know. So, but the fucking that album it's perfect, and a lot of people were kind of put off by the fact that like 3 of the songs were re-recorded, but I don't care, you know. It's an hour long. If they took those off, it may have been like 40 minutes, but it's another one that it's got 2 covers also, to be fair. It's got 2 Chaos 88 covers.
Yeah.
Now those are good. They're not absolutely necessary. I'm not really sure why they did that.
I think it was just a further cementing their association with like the RAC scene.
Yeah, I mean, and that's fine. They fit. They're really good. They're not necessary though, because like you got to think, if you take those off, the album would end with Kingdom of Poison Fruits, which is would have been a perfect ending album or ender for an album, but it almost feels like those could have been bonus tracks for the LP version or something. I'm not sure. Are they on? Yeah, they're on the vinyl version too. So I don't know. Again, I'm not talking shit. I'm just saying from a listener point of view, it's a little long. And the
Doom Generation. Holy shit! Yeah, it's on my.
Yeah,
I have the.
Yeah, so they're good. And hell, I mean, that's combined. That's only 3 minutes. I mean,
right.
Holy Shit's a minute long, and I think Doom Generation's like a little over 2, like 2.5 maybe. So it's fine. But yeah, I think it. And with Richard's involvement, that makes sense too. So with Vinland Winds and everything.
Yeah, Chaos 88's an interesting band to include because they're from like Atlantic City or something. Or,
I actually don't know a lot about that band.
They're because they have an album called like Welcome to Atlantic City, or I'm not that super familiar with them, but I just know they're very they're kind of within that like Blue Eyed Devils, super grimy, aggressive, prison adjacent RAC.
I'm looking at Chaos 88 on discography or on Discogs, and it says American RAC band from Atlantic City, and their first album is called Welcome to Atlantic City.
See, I was right. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
I do have an old Chaos 88 shirt. It's
that fucking rules.
Military green with like the dice.
Yeah,
it's pretty sick.
But
I've always loved their covers, and those covers just so with their style, because they're not straight covers. They do add like a little black metal flair. Into them.
Absolutely, man, absolutely. So I mean, even the G.G. Allen was like that sounded like a black metal song. Mm-hmm. So, but with Kosherat though, like. Oh, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say I think an severely underrated track that I never really hear anyone bring up, it's one of my favorites, is Bearded Hustlers.
Oh, dude, that's great, man. Like, it's got the clean vocals, like Richard does the Kaz Grant thing.
The soldiers, the blood lost.
Yeah, that's
with the almost like haunting backing vocals is so sick.
Yeah, that's piggybacking again off of the previous album, like they did on Judeobeast with what was it, Lamb of God, Slain Will Be. He's doing the Kaz thing, without totally ripping it off, because he's definitely his own vocalist on this album and the other stuff that he recorded. But yeah, Bearded Hustlers is a great opener, and I think it was so there were 2 7-inches with him on it before this album. And like the EP, and then the split with Nun's Laughter, and the Bearded Hustlers being a lot of people's first experience with the new vocalist is perfect, and the fact that they put that first, and it had that Kaz Grant kind of like chant oration thing, and
those are some of my favorite parts of GBK, because it's so unique, and it's like haunting.
I think it is Bearded Hustle. That's another album I listened to as a whole, but that's the one that it starts out.
It starts out with just like swelling feedback,
and then it's like
ridicule.
Yeah, that is
their false messiah.
Yeah, that's perfect. It's very venomous and fucking. It's perfect, man.
That's what I'm talking about with it. It feels like he's spitting out the fucking lyrics.
Well, the next line is they spit on their own beards.
Exactly. Their own hairy chests.
They spit on their own hairy chests, symbolic of their odium towards anything that's non-Hebraic.
I love, dude. The lyrics are so cool.
Oh, it's so great, man.
It's phenomenal. Like, people can say what they want about the subject matter, but they're so well written.
Well, I mean, I think if you. I don't know too many people. Well, I don't know too many people that are of that subject matter that like GBK.
Exactly.
Because of that, because it's like it is so like apparent on that album. Like, yeah, it's always been there, but it's very anti, if you know what I mean. You can't really say that on YouTube because of the algorithms, and so. But
there was no hiding it anymore. Look at the album. Look at the album title.
Yeah, Kosher Rat. They're calling the baby Jesus a rat, a kosher rat.
And they've almost invented their own vernacular, like Judeobeast. Like that's as far as I know, they invented that.
Oh yeah. But and then like I think one of the best song titles ever, and it was on a 7-inch, but On a Mule Rides a Swindler, On a Mule Rides a Swindler, dude. I got that fucking T-shirt, and
same.
Oh my fucking god, I wore that to well, I can't say where I wore it to. I'll out myself, but I wore it, and my friend, my friend was like, dude, you cannot wear that where we're going. I was like, it's just a metal shirt. He's like, but it's so obvious. You know what I mean? It's calling Jesus Christ a fucking swindler. Like not only is it Christ, but it's anti, the lineage of David people. So
yeah, I have one of the shirts that Drakkar put out with on the mule with the hooligan black metal on the back in the circle. And that's one of my favorite, talk about like branding, like that, as gay as that is to talk about, like they coined, like there was no, like, forget like Peste Noir, like Peste Noir stole that from GBK, like hooligan black metal was totally a fucking GBK invention.
Yeah, I think it was, they definitely bit some off, and I don't think they would mind that. I don't think GBK would mind that, okay, so the next song after that one is Hobo Aramaic Tongues. That's also such a great goddamn song title, and that's the lyrics are a lot of the times like secondary with bands, or like you can't understand them, or like, well, the riffs are good, the lyrics are kind of whatever, it fits, but with it's almost like its own separate like instrument, like in as much as it's like just as much thought has been put into the lyrics, and they're just as memorable as the riffs. I mean, Hobo of Aramaic Tongues, the first line is fugitive, witch doctor, born in an impoverished stable. That's so goddamn offensive to somebody that doesn't know anything about black metal. Like, that's such a mockery of the Bible. And it's using those terms, like those, it's very, there's no hiding it, which is what I've always thought is so, like, to say witch doctor is so, like, what I've always thought is so interesting about GBK is that it's the and I believe Galal writes most of the lyrics. I could be wrong. He might have help, but I know he does have a heavy hand in writing them. Yeah. And his way with words, where it's just so blunt. There is no flowery language. It's just right there in front of you. We're saying we're gonna assassinate the Judeobeast. Like, that is literally like. There's no hiding with what they're about, And when it is flowery, it's flowery in a Bible sense,
they're using biblical language.
Yeah, biblical language, and it's like it's just it really adds to it. It's a total package, And
I used the term earlier, and this is not meant to insult at all. I mean it, and it's the nursery rhyme angle, because I do think that is very, like, there's like a sing-song aspect to a lot of like the hooks, the melodies that GBK is using, specifically they feel almost like blasphemous Sunday school songs, there is like a certain like rhyming element to it, which I think is interesting.
And somebody said, like they took umbrage with you saying, like, with absurd, they're saying, like, you said nursery rhymes, and it's actually folk, and it's like, yes, that's right, that's correct, that it is folk music, and it was a folk element, but I believe what you're trying to say is as human beings in our culture, a lot of the times the first thing we experience with music is nursery rhymes from a very small, a very young age. Yeah. And those songs are very simple. They're the ones that are around, that are timeless. They're worded very well. They're worded very cleverly. They rhyme, but again, they are catchy. They have hooks. And it's all part of the same package, so it's not a bad thing, and it's not an insult.
I was not trying to insult absurd. I was trying to basically get across the songwriting element that basically spoke to me as okay. And obviously, folk would have been a better term, but there are certain elements of. And it does like I've always pictured like okay, like it's a extremely blasphemous Sunday school sermon you're sitting down and hearing.
That's what I was gonna say. Like in this situation, it's very much a Sunday school kind of thing, which goes back to the mockery. It goes back to like the mind of a child. You have a mind of a child for being part of this religion and being a blind follower of this faith and stuff, and that makes sense. And they've even got those parts on. I believe it's on. It's on one of the maybe on the Hexenhaus Vigil or somewhere, but there's parts that kind of sound twinkly with keyboards, and definitely actually it's on some of these songs too. There's some twinkly keyboard parts that are maybe reworked church songs, and it's very much a fucking like Sunday school vibe, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's just further mockery, you know. They
even use like, what was it called, klezmer music? Is that what it's called?
I think so, yeah.
Where I guess the lore behind it is they somehow were able to get actual like music sheets from some kind of church, and they were using those actual, like, because there is that part where he goes like, for the rabbi soon will dance, like that part, like that, and then it goes straight into the fucking blasting black metal. It's perfect.
I know what song is that?
It goes
that
like,
on this one or
stop, spiel, do not make a sound. It's so good.
What song is that? Is that on, that's on this one?
Yes.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
I can't remember the exact song that it's on. I just listened to it today.
It's like an outro.
Yeah.
For the rabbis.
And then it goes straight into the black metal,
I'm sorry, man. That shit is so fucking good. It's so offensive. I just love every second of that. Like, just the mockery of that shit, dude. I forgot about that song. I should have listened to that. I'm gonna listen to that tonight too. Just the fucking the singing about the rabbi, man. That's so fucking good, dude. And then like it they like have the mean feedback, and they go back and just that fucking chaotic part. It's just like they're tearing down the shitagogue. You know, it's perfect.
Yeah, this album is monumental. I think, with the re-recorded songs and all the new material, it caps in at like what, 55 minutes. I think it's nearly an hour.
This album, no, it's 101 minutes, man. It's
okay.
Yeah, Kosher Rat is 100. That's what I was saying earlier, man. It's almost the same amount of time as fucking what do you call it? Mocking.
For some reason, this album feels quicker to me.
It does. It's a longer one. It says it's on Discogs. It says it's 1 hour, 1 minute, and 13 seconds. And it is, and it doesn't feel like that. That's surprising. And now it does feel a little long with those covers, but even if you took the covers off, it's still going to be almost that, because that's only like 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, they're so quick.
But the songs are considerably longer than on Judeobeast. I mean, the Red Heifer is 8 minutes. And then, what is that? Vultures of Misfortune is like 7 plus minutes.
Yeah, it's like almost 8 minutes.
Yeah, so the songs are longer. I mean, the shortest songs are 5 minutes, which are still pretty. I mean, that's longer than like a pop song.
But they have like this. It's a maturity of composition. I think.
Absolutely.
Because
it flows better.
When you think about where they were as a band from Mocking the Philanthropist. They had Judeobeast in between, and then Kosherat, which is this. It's a term that came to mind when I was listening to it today. It's almost cinematic. You have this like. There's parts of it that kind of remind you of like film scores because of how epic and swirling and it's telling a story, which I think is such a. It's still the same spirit that was present on Mocking, but you get that there is a coherent through line to all these records, and I think they could have thrown together another Judeobeast and could have written another blasting, ripping, face melting record, but they wanted to do something different. They want to make a statement. This record is a statement, you know.
Yeah. It's heavier, like I said. I think it's heavier. I mean, it might just be me.
No, it's definitely heavier.
I think it's closer to writing style, riff wise, to Mocking.
Yeah, between all the because there is a substantial amount. So I mentioned Judeobeast is their most heavy metal sounding record.
Yeah.
I think Kosherat is the most punk sounding record. Like, you do have heavy punk elements to, not the entire thing, but there are parts of it which are straight, and that where it comes into that more punk oi stuff. It does creep in there.
I think that is probably from. I think all of this is from Richard Mills. His involvement, like, he was into a lot of that stuff and a lot of RAC, obviously, and I think that's where that came in. And I'm not saying that the other guys weren't, but he brought his own influence, and I know he's a big fan, or was a big fan, of the early GBK stuff. So that makes sense that he kind of. He probably.
Had some input,
helped with the writing, but I'm sure he had the input. But it has an older vibe, but it's heavier and it's meaner, but it's got that kind of punk, pissed off kind of vibe to it. I understand what you mean. It makes sense.
Yeah,
and there's a little bit more of the interludes. Not instrumentals, but there's the stuff that, like that rabbi part we were talking about,
and then there's also that awesome acoustic section, which is phenomenal. It's like classical guitar almost.
Well, and that was on keyboard on the original version, on the 7-inch. So when they redid it, it sounded fucking amazing. So it flows really well. Like it's definitely more mature, and it has the. And but it flows really well. It flows better than Mocking. I can't believe it's that long. Looking at the time, I thought it was
flies
maybe close.
through. Because most of the time, when I'm listening to a fucking metal record and it's over an hour, dude, I am skipping stuff all over the place. Yeah. I'm like, dude, this song does not need to be 7 minutes. But I did not think that one time while listening to this.
There's no skip tracks on that at all.
There's no dead space. They use every goddamn second on this record.
Yeah, it's very engaging, and it's fucking great. I love the artwork. I love the live pictures.
Oh, it's my favorite art. I love the artwork. I was going to bring this up. A weird bit of trivia about this record. This is the first vinyl I bought ever in my life. I bought it when I was still in high school. I was wearing GBK shirts in high school.
You're in high school in 2005. That makes me feel really fucking old, man.
Oh yeah,
I was already out of college and well on my way into adulthood.
No, I was wearing
that's not a slight against you. It's just fucking crazy.
No, I put so many of my friends onto GBK, who I think some of them still listen to it to this day. But I remember. It's one of those foundational memories of me getting into underground music, and I got the LP of Kosherat and listening to that in my room and just becoming totally engrossed in this album. And I had just started working, and I was listening to it. I mentioned earlier I was listening to all the GBK albums at my job at a restaurant just in the back of the house, fucking weirding everyone out. But I think I have so many memories tied back to this record, and it's such a foundational piece to my interest in underground music, and that I mean, I have, you can't see, but I have, my whole room is covered in records, but this is the first record I ever bought, which began that collection. So I have a very special relationship with this record, and it's phenomenal. I hadn't listened to it in full in several years, but revisiting it today, it brought back, I was like, oh, damn, this record is killer. It's so sick. And I've seen people like complain about it, say like there's parts of it that are boring, there's parts of it that they don't like. But no, there's this I will say this is my second. Judeobeast is my favorite, and Kosherat's my second favorite for sure.
Yeah, I've got friends that don't like they don't like Kosherat, and I love it. I think they need to give it another chance. I really don't understand. Like I told a friend of mine, like this was probably sometime in the last year. Like I'll go on these fucking binges with bands where that's all I can fucking listen to, and GBK is one of those ones. And I'll be in a group chat, and I'm like, dude, how do you not fucking like Kosher Rat? And they're like, well, it's good, but it's, and I say it's just as good as Judeobeast. It's easily just as good as Judeobeast. Judeobeast is a catchier, better album, just for whatever reasons, you know. It's
more straight to the point.
But I think it's just as good of an album. There's nothing wrong with Kosher Rat whatsoever. The only difference is fucking Richard, and if that, like, that's, I know that's not this person's problem with it, because they were friends with him too, but like it's just, I don't know, it something about it, like, it turns people off. I don't know if it's being a little bit heavier and down-tuned. I love the art. Like, the only one on the cover with corpse paint is Jesus, like the baby Jesus. Like, Mary might have some, you can't really tell because she's just kind of standing there, but like, I love
the doves are there too. That's another staple. The doves of war.
Yeah, the doves of war are watching over, man. So, but the only flaw, this is just ridiculous, but the only flaw with this album is they thanked fucking Blake Judd in the fucking from Noctimistium in the fucking thanks list.
I think that was just a time and place thing.
Yeah, it was a time and place thing because Richard Mills knew Blake, and at least they misspelled his fucking name. It's Blade, Blade. But they think Blade Noctimistium, which that's disgusting. And because I know that those guys don't fucking support anything that guy has ever done. But
if you look through the thanks list of this record specifically, I wanted to bring it up. You can, like, all of the different hooligan sects and all the the firms that they're shouting out. It's like they had done their time putting in work, touring in Europe, doing private shows and stuff, and so that those relationships were very well present on the thanks list of this record.
Yeah, I can't imagine seeing GBK in Europe, man. I'm sure they played some fucking crazy ones over there.
There's a really good interview that recently came out on Bardo Methodology. It's like I think it might even be like a 10 or 11 part interview that Galal did with that guy. And I if you haven't read that, you should check it out. It spans their entire career.
I don't really care for that zine too much for personal reasons, but like that I would probably read it because I think he's done some other ones that were pretty intense and pretty in depth. Like, he does a good job. Like, the guy does a good job. Like, he's so I would probably, and it's not video, is it? Is it?
No. It's just it's text. It's text now. All
right, cool. Yeah, that's good. Like the reissue of what did they call it? Is it called Trifiction of Swine? What's the compilation of the two demos from GBK? It's really, really nice. It came out. It was the Goat of a Thousand Young Triumph of the Hordes compilation. Came out in 2017. The booklet on that is fucking fantastic, man. Like, I had those releases, but I bought that just for the fucking booklet because it's beautiful. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's like it's probably like a 20-page just kind of retrospective on the early days of the band.
It's really, really good, man. It's very cool, and it's I wonder if that came out on CD. That was something I would like to have on CD.
Yeah, I think World Terror Committee put it out.
Yeah, I would like to have it on CD because it's one of those things I'd like to sit and listen. Is it a double LP?
Yeah, it is it a double LP? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's a lot.
But I remember getting this specifically for the liner notes.
Yeah, let me see if the CD is
or the booklet, not liner notes.
Yeah, it's a single disc, so but it's a double record. It's been remastered, and that's only 48 minutes. And the fact that they put it on 2 records is great because, like, that means that the vinyl's going to sound good. It's not just going to be one of those things where it's just a Funko fucking product, so you could consume it and put it on Instagram.
Yeah, they actually all the stuff that has been put out for GBK is always a well-made product.
Yeah, that vinyl, that was one of the last records, I think we talked about this before, but like vinyl just sounding like shit now.
Oh yeah, it's all, literally just like low-res MP3 rips.
Yeah, but like that, but man, Judeobeast sounded huge.
Oh yeah.
When I got it. I mean, Drakkar and EAL always did great fucking work, but that that album sounded so fucking good to put on, and because black metal is a little bit easier to get on vinyl and get it because it's a lot of high frequencies and mid frequencies, but then that album is heavy, but you still got that bass response, so it's got to be a little bit the grooves, all the nerdy shit with vinyl, but like it sounded really, it's a solid sounding vinyl.
I need to listen to my Judeobeast record again. I have the Drakkar version. I do remember it being incredibly loud, and all like the mix on that record is so like you meant the bass. It's just in your face, which is so. It goes against the whole like necro black metal sound. Yeah. It's like we are gonna fucking punch you in the face, which is completely appropriate for a band like GBK.
Yeah, it sounds like heavy metal, It's a heavy metal production, but it's just a little bit more pissed off. And the Kosher, I'll be honest, I haven't spent as much time listening to Kosher Rat on vinyl. I have it, but I have the CD. I've listened to that more. Just again, GBK is one of those bands that I like to just sit and listen to the full album all the way. It's never really background music, It's not because there's rarely any filler. So, but it's I remember Judeobeast specifically sounding really good. I'm not sure if a different. What is that? What am I looking at here?
Oh, the inside of Kosherat. That's when he's like Galal standing near like the ruins, which is so sick. And then there's the picture of Richard Mills holding the Star David.
Yeah,
which is iconic. And then you have
that's a great picture.
Another thing I wanted to bring up is the drumming on Kosherat is so, dude, it's so sick. That's one of one of my top drum performances ever on black metal, because it's different than Kaz. He's obviously he's doing a slightly different thing, but the fills, the cymbal work specifically, it feels very aggressive, which I love.
Yeah, his kick drums on that are really, really militant, which makes sense because it's the guy from Argus Lent, but he's got those parts that are just like especially on Bearded Hustlers, that fucking during when he's saying thus is the bloodlust of these bearded hustlers, that part with that riff, that's the kind of like the open string, the single note. I don't know how to describe it, but like the fucking the drums underneath that are so fucking clever, and he's got the little almost like fills on the kick drums. It's so catchy, man. I get just the drums on that song stuck in my head.
Oh yeah,
it's a toe tapper, but it's
his cymbal work is incredible too.
Yeah, he's a very disciplined drummer, and it's very, very, very much shows, and I really like it. Again, Kaz is always going to be a part of GBK, but this guy was a really good fill-in. I'm glad it's not just some nameless, faceless fucking dipshit from some other band that was just a hired gun. I think that the band probably were they trusted him, because they knew his work in Argus Lent, we could fill in on fucking for GBK, and it sounds perfect. It's very, very militant and it's heavy. It's a heavier album, and it's a heavier drum album too.
Yeah, absolutely. I think just the overall sound of Kosherat is so just massive. I think that it really leveled up the band in terms of the overall sound.
Yeah, I don't know a lot of people that hate on that album. There's some people that don't prefer it over other ones, but I don't know of anyone that says I just cannot. I do not like this whatsoever. Mm-hmm. I mean, it spans a lot of their discography, a lot of their legacies on there. It feels like it's music from 3 different eras, because of the 7 inches and stuff. But it's very much a GBK album, so I don't know what people don't like about it. They're just wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Your opinion is just incorrect with that one. That's it. So let's move on. Was there anything else you wanted to say about Kosher Rat?
No, that was
all
it.
All right, so let's move on to Kohanic Charmers. I will be honest with you. I have spent the least amount of time with that album. I did not like it at all when it came out. I hated it for the first year. And my friends were like, you really need to give it a chance. They know how I am with music.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still growing on me. I will admit that. It's still growing on me. I like it, but I don't have any... I can't speak at length about my favorite parts on this. It's a great album. It's very GBK. I want to say, correct me if I'm wrong, that the production is a little off on this one. Or maybe it's the drums are a little off on this one. I think I thought that it was a drum machine. I think I was almost convinced it was a drum machine, but I think what that was is it either leaked or someone put it up. They had a shitty rip that they put out before it was out, and it was super fucking compressed, and it made the drum sound like a drum machine. It wasn't, but it was. I don't know. Something was off with the production. It's definitely different.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, since it's the most recent, when it came out, 2022. It's the most recent, and when that album dropping was like a total shock to me. I did not expect a new GBK album. I remember.
Yeah, I don't think anybody did.
There was like a preview that got posted of a song, and then that spread around like crazy, and people were like, "Holy shit!" And then I think within like 2 months, the whole album was out, and I remember listening to it, and kind of had a similar. It still has that. It has the GBK sound, but it didn't. There's the opening track I loved because of that main riff. That main riff is total like classic GBK. But the rest of the album has definitely. I've grown to like it. It's my least favorite of them, and I could see. Yeah. It is the album I've spent the least amount of time. I have the vinyl. I've listened to it a few times. I'm a fan of it, but it doesn't have that the immediate catchiness that I found with all the other ones, which could be just from they're trying something different. It's kind of a somewhat a new lineup. I know this is the first one with Unhold actually doing the vocals. The
different drummer.
Yeah, different drummer. The guitar work is still present. It's obviously they didn't skip or he didn't skip a beat with the signature GBK aspects, but I think the overall kind of vision of the album is it's almost like I don't know, it's kind of it's I wouldn't say restrained, but he obviously knows what people gravitate towards, which they love those big moments, those epic moments, and he can write those all day. It's just I think maybe restrained is a good word to use.
Yeah,
right
it's
there.
A little restrained. I think that, and this is all speculation. I think that it could be partially what we said about the layout or the lineup being different. The chemistry may be different. Like, as a musician, like you can be, like practically best friends with someone, but if you in a musical sense, it's a different kind of relationship, and they may not have gelled as well. There may not be that kind of vibe going. That could have been part of it. It's not like they have contractual obligations in this scene, so it's not like Welton Fiend was like, "You guys got to get this fucking record out." Plus that guy's in the fucking band, so I think it was maybe a mix of that. Like the chemistry may not have been there. Again, it's not a bad album. It's got the last song, "Turbans Nailed to Their Heads," which is probably my favorite. That's a reworking of the song from the Triumph of the Hordes demo, which was cool. The Sleeping Princess of the Argus. Yeah, so, but like, I like Turbans Nailed to Their Heads seems very, very much more, it seems more poignant in the times we're in right now, globally, which could have been what that is.
Fiscus Judeobeast is another standout track on the album.
I absolutely love the song "Crud Drips from the Shofar." I think that's such a great fucking song title, and the song is really good. Serpent Bibliomancy just sounds like that title, it sounds like a fucking Deicide throwaway album or Deicide throwaway track. Like, I don't like Deicide after Legion, and like, cause that you want to talk about nursery rhyme, that motherfucker just started singing like everything like Mother Goose. Yeah. But like Serpent Bibliomancy doesn't really seem like it's very it's not that creative. And again, I'm not talking shit, I'm just being honest, man. It's still GBK, but it's I don't know, it's different. Maybe we should spend some more time with it before we do another episode. I'm definitely going to go back and listen to Kosher Rat again tonight, and I'll probably pick up Kohanic Charmers. I'm butchering that. I don't speak that language. So
yeah, I think it is Kohanic Charmers.
But I don't know. I'm glad to hear that you don't you kind of feel the same way as me. It's not that it sucks. It's just different. And now I'm going to say something else that's fucking weird. I'm looking on Encyclopedia Metallum, and Kohanic Charmers has one review of 80%. And Kosher Rat has 76%, and like fucking Judeobeast is the least, for being their quote unquote best album. It's only rated 58%. So like you can't take this shit seriously. But
Metallum reviews are irrelevant. I didn't pay attention to
fucking trash, man. It just happened to be up because I wanted to get some information on the lineup.
I saw that review too. It is odd because like
someone gave it an 80. Like even like I'd be curious to see what else, if that guy reviewed anything else from the band, because I don't know anybody that has listened to it and just thinks this is to the same standard as Kosher Rat. It's the same thing as Judeobeast. I do have friends that love it, and they'll say, I didn't like it, and it holds up. And to be honest, I did the same thing with the last Argus Lent, too. I had the same problem with the production. I think part of this may be a production issue. Maybe they changed studios. Maybe they're recording different. It seems very compressed. Mm-hmm. And it's very, I don't know, something about, I usually don't try to pay attention to that kind of stuff, but when it's really obvious. Actually, this says it was recorded in Germany.
Yeah, I was going to say it was recorded during their when they were doing those shows in 2016, and then there was like, I don't know what was going on, but it took almost like 8 years for it to come out after.
Well, it could have been, lineups. It could have been the drama with Absurd and GBK. I mean, because Unhold lives in the States now, I guess, right? So
I have no idea. I think he still lives. I think he still lives in Germany.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
It's fucking. I think there's just a lot of chaos going on with the band, and I had forgotten that it was recorded that far back. Like, so because that's like. Actually, that's, if you look, like, the last full length was 2005. If you're not counting the Welton Fiend split in 2008, like, that's a long fucking time between albums. So them doing those, like, recording it then, that's a long time between material. There's a lot of things if you've ever recorded an album and you return to stuff, sometimes it's hard to capture the same tones and the same energy.
Yeah, if you're not playing with a lineup consistently, it is, like you mentioned, it is hard to kind of, because if you're playing live shows consistently with people, there is like a certain charisma you build up that's like that unspoken, okay, go right here. Like when you're writing, like we mentioned earlier, it sounded like Kosher Rat was recorded in a room. I don't know if it was, but it has that vibe where they were very locked in on that. On that
very, very much so, very much so.
And this one does feel, it does feel kind of like they're returning. It's a comeback record for sure, because they did record it in 2016. So I almost wonder if it was material that he wrote quickly, or if he had these riffs kind of in his back pocket, or it was like material that didn't come together on previous releases that he kind of expanded on. I'm not sure, but re-listening to it, I really think the first track, which is called, what was it, Prayer Shawl of the Firstborn Donkey, that has one of those classic, like the that riff is incredible. And when I saw them in El
Yeah.
Paso, that's what they opened with. And
Wow,
that
that's
definitely
ballsy.
that got the crowd moving for sure. And I think they also they played a couple songs from the new one. They played Piscus Judaicus too, I believe. But the reception live was people loved. Obviously, this was a successful record. Like tons of people bought it. Tons of people were.
Yeah.
I remember, dude. Like the entire underground was fucking freaking out about this when this came out.
Oh yeah, I mean that was the first one that came out into the since the hyper funkification of music, where like everything is just consuming and just soy boy facing the fucking soy face consume add to cart of everything, and so that came out and everyone was like, oh, I love GBK all of a sudden, so they're gonna buy it. And I don't know, like maybe younger people. Well, no, that's not true either, because you feel the same. I was gonna say maybe newer listeners could enjoy it more without the hindsight of the other stuff, not having spent as much time with the older material. But I mean for a band that has released, to a lesser band, this would be a phenomenal, incredible record. But the fact that we're comparing it to these other, benchmark records in the scene and the underground, I think it does somewhat slightly pale in comparison to that previous material. Now, am I saying that I don't enjoy it? No, I do. I really do like this record. But to say that was it something that caught me and I fell in love with immediately, like I did with the previous LPs? No, I didn't. Yeah. It's definitely something that I've returned to it a few times, and I appreciate it now. Now that the hype has died down for it, I'm able to return to it with kind of a clear mind and appreciate kind of what this is that it's GBK. It's straightforward GBK. There's not a lot of, it's no Judeobeast, but I don't think they were trying to do that. I think they were just trying to make another record, that has their signature sound. They're not trying, they're not throwing anything that's a curveball. They're playing it. They're playing it like this is GBK. They're not playing it safe at all, because like they've never played it safe, but this is their signature sound. Like this is what they do. Yeah, it's definitely, it doesn't have that going through the motions vibe of just let's just get one out. But it is another GBK album, so it's worth listening to. It's worth owning, and it is very good. But when you have such iconic and monumental releases as Judeobeast, Mocking the Philanthropist, the 7 inches. Like all that material is so epic and just moving in so many ways. Like this one falls a little flat, and I'm hoping my mind will change. But what the real test and the real thing will be what happens next. I would be willing to bet that there is not another 15 or so year wait between albums, and I bet the next one is better. I bet the next one is a little bit more honed in, especially with the things going on in the world. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. Just to put it simply, and
it's the perfect time for them to release another.
There's a lot of inspiration right now.
On the site, they did have some. This was so they had like a release schedule at one point. I think it's gone now, but it did say like GBK LP. And it said like coming soon or something in that matter. It's gone now. So, but that indicates that they are working on new material.
I bet there's going to be another one in the next year or two. I bet there is, and I bet it's going to be better. And then I hope at that point I can go back and be like, yeah, this one is pretty fucking good, because look how good this one is. It'll be interesting because I'm pretty sure he'll be working with Unhold. Mm-hmm. And which is fine, and it'll just be interesting. Maybe it just didn't work out chemistry wise with that. I don't know, man. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
I don't know why.
I'm just guessing from a listener and I'm a musician, so like I listen to those things. I take all that stuff into consideration. So
for it to be recorded in 2016 and then released in 2022, I don't know what was going on. Maybe it took. I don't know, because I think it was recorded in that session when they were over there playing some shows during that 2016 period. But all I know is that, you know, people's reception to it, people liked it, you know, and revisiting it now, you can tell it's something that we both of us haven't really been drawn back to listen to, because we have these other records that we can grab.
Yeah, I mean,
if this was the only, like, okay, so for example, there are a ton of, you know, rip-off, I wouldn't say a ton, but there's a couple bands that are maybe trying to ape the GBK sound, but don't really do it nearly. They don't have that, you know, the gravitas, that the fucking like balls that GBK has, in terms of like, okay, they're not clone bands, but they're bands that are trying to use that sound as like the template for what they do. They're using GBK as the template, but what Grant Belial's Key is doing is they're taking all these other influences and making black metal. So it comes across differently. But what I was going to say is that when you compare it to those bands in the modern scene who are trying to do the GBK thing, or even like the Argo Slant thing, whatever, this does kind of, you know, show like, hey guys, we're the ones that created this sound. This is how you do it, essentially. So I don't think anyone has done it better than they have.
No, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to name any names because I don't want to get into all that shit. But like, I don't know of too many bands that try to do GBK. Well, actually, there are some bands that just straight up try to sound like GBK. Now there are bands that have GBK inspired parts, but it doesn't come across like, hey, we're trying to ape them. It's definitely an homage to it, but and I enjoy that. But if you base your whole fucking band around like, okay, we're gonna sound like GBK, we're even gonna talk about biblical stuff, we're gonna have, you know, this type of art, and we're gonna do that. Don't do that, man. Don't fucking do that.
Yeah, be your own band.
Yeah, do your own thing and learn to fucking write a riff, man. You know, Galal did. You know, to fucking play guitar. Get off social media, practice, for God's sakes, practice, and get a real band together and play and write music. Write your own shit. Do your own expression. That's their expression. Don't. Why would you want to sound like somebody else? So you're going against, especially with a band like GBK, you're going against everything that they stand against. You know what I mean? Like, that's Funderground shit. You know, you're acting like a Funderground guy right now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Don't be a bitch, dude. Like, fucking come up with your own band. Be meaner. Try to top it. That's the thing. Try to top it, dude. Be the next GBK. You know, that's really fucking hard to do. So write other riffs and earn their respect, and instead of trying to suck their balls, dude.
You know, I was talking to one of my buddies, and just about the whole like reemergence of them coming back and doing shows consistently, and their other band doing shows and being a part of a big metal festival. It is interesting that these guys who are in their, you know, 40s or maybe even early 50s now are coming in and showing these you know, younger guys, like, this is how you fucking play aggressive music. This is how you tell people to piss off. You know, they're showing back up, and they're basically laying down the law of being like, this is, you know, we've been around forever. We've made our mark, and we definitely have a distinct, you know, presence within the underground that obviously is still definitely appreciated to this day.
Yeah, I could respect Kohanic Charmers as an album done if it was just to say, you know, fuck you, we're doing this, we've been doing this longer, and this is how it's done. You know, it may not be their best, but it's like, you people have no idea what the fuck you're doing. You know, you're growing up with the internet, and you're aping everything. So, but I think they're going to do something better next, and there definitely is a resurgence, and I don't mind it. I think it's great. It's not like they're ever going to have some huge commercial appeal. There is no selling out for GBK.
Yeah, what do they say? Forever confided to the underground.
Yeah, I mean, that should be everybody's fucking attitude anyway. But they can't. They have no commercial appeal. Now they would if you took the lyrics away. Then yeah, they would, and probably some of the art. But like, they're not going to be commercially appealing. So maybe that's the deal with those other bands. They're like, oh, I want to do GBK, but it's like fun. And like it's not going to hurt anybody's feelings. So,
right.
But I like that they're playing shows. I like that they're not touring constantly. Every time they play, it's a fucking event, you know?
Yeah, it's something people travel to, like, from all over the world.
I like that they're doing shows with Kaz and with Unhold.
Yeah,
so
cool.
I think that's pretty cool. I mean, both have their charms and their faults, but they're both fucking great, you know? So
yeah, Kaz was awesome. When I saw them, I saw them a couple times in the last few years, and Kaz was fucking awesome live. Like because now he's just doing vocals, he's not doing drums,
right?
So now he gets to be a front man, you know, which is different.
Yeah, and he's good at that. You know, he's very good at that. And have you seen them with Unhold?
I have, yeah, twice.
Oh, okay, wow. So how was that?
Really cool. I mean, he was, you know, it's obviously it's a different stage presence than Kaz. He kind of like has his shtick where it's almost like it's like a sermon thing he sets up with the lyrics, which I think is cool. You know, it's almost, you know, we've talked, it's like he's speaking from the pulpit. It's like he's delivering a sermon. So I that has like its own appeal, and I think he's a great vocalist, and he did do vocals on Kohanic Charmers, and he fits within. Like, do I like him as much as Kaz or Grimnir or Richard Mills? No, just frankly no. But he does. He's not out of place. You know, he definitely fits within that. And he even brought back some of that, like those spoken word parts that are so classic GBK. So no, he fits as a vocalist. He's a good frontman for sure, and I think the lineup they have now is really solid. Having seen them a few times, it's punishing live. They are so tight. They sound incredible, and they definitely are like they're the band that people come in off the patio to watch. You know? Yeah.
What did the songs off Kohanic Charmers, did it translate better live than it did on the albums?
Yeah, so like,
when I could see there would be like there maybe a little bit more energy. Not energy, but like electricity. You know what I mean? Like a more of a liveliness to it. You know? From
my memory, when I saw them in El Paso, they opened with the Prayer Shawl, the Firstborn Donkey. From my memory. I could be wrong, but they definitely played that song. But I do know that when they kicked into that, the whole room was moving. You could the entire, you know, when you're in a crowd, the entire crowd was swaying back and forth, like people were losing their minds.
Yeah. Well, that's good, man. So I still think it's got to be a production thing and an energy thing. Like the chemistry just may not have been there. It may have been something just a little too fractured over the years, and like they could have just gotten like bass tracks, not bass BASS, but BASE tracks done in Germany in that first session in 2016, and a lot of overdubs, and there's not as much like I don't know, man. Like I really think that's what the album is suffering from. It's an energy thing. Like
because you can tell the material is it's still classic GBK.
Yeah. I think it's just and it's not a proficiency thing. I mean, if you're a musician, you know. I mean, if you listen to music, you know what I'm talking about. So, like, you take your favorite songs. If you think of your favorite band from when you were a kid, you've seen them play live, and they didn't quite pull it off live as other times you may have seen them. You know what I mean? Like, it's just an energy thing. So
I feel like now, like live, because I've watched older live videos of GBK. Currently, the energy they have live is just so intense compared to some of the older stuff. I can see that. Yeah. So because I think they're feeding off that energy of the crowd. Because I was talking to my buddy, is like, I've seen so many black metal bands, I've seen so many different metal bands, death metal bands, etc., whatever. To see GBK with a lively crowd, it feels, you know, you do feel like you're at like a Negative Approach show in the 80s. Yeah. Everyone is losing their fucking minds.
Yeah, it's and that's great, and I like that. I would love to see him live and play that material off Kohanic Charmers and enjoy it a little bit more, and I could see myself doing that and having a better appreciation for the album, because I don't hate it, but I'm not connecting with it in the same way as the earlier stuff. So, but I mean, that just goes to show that they've been around for that long, and they've just now done something that could be considered not quite as good. When everything else has been a 10, this might be a 9.5. So, you know what I mean? So like, it's fine. This is a lot for the band. It's one of the greatest bands in the underground, and definitely one of the best in the United States. So if not
absolutely.
the best. So I mean, there's no match for Graham Belial's Key. So
yeah, when you say
what a great fucking name too, man. You know
I
what I mean?
I was saying that or thinking that today. It was like, because it almost it fits perfectly. Like they've stuck, like, at what they could have ditched the name, because it was coined when they were kind of doing the whole, like, because they had the dude from Ancient doing vocals, the Lord Fag Pacifarian or whatever. So that era was when that name was given or created, I guess. But the fact that they kept that name, and then they made that name like its own, like, brand, and that name means something, is that they didn't ditch it, so that it's become its own, like, entity, like, and it's perfect too, because it does kind of lean into the punk thing, where that you can abbreviate it GBK, which is very very punk. Specifically. But yeah, no, it's awesome name, awesome, like, image, awesome, like, album artwork, lyrics. They have the whole package. It's songwriting specifically, and yeah, no, they're if you couldn't tell from us talking about them for almost 3 hours,
spurting out on fucking Graham Belial's Key, man.
Big fans of this band. I think this is the most comprehensive talk about this band that has existed, at least in terms of podcast. So
I mean, anything beyond this is just going to be fucking autistic.
Exactly.
You could outdo it, and you can get all nuanced, and actually this guy did this and he did this. Okay, cool, man. But we actually fucking sit and enjoy the music, and have spent a lot of fucking time with it, and I've been listening to this band for, God, has it been over 30 years, I guess? So that's crazy, dude. Like that, then the band has been around a long time. So it's nice. It's nice to have bands from here, from the United States, as an American. Like, it's nice to have bands from here we can be proud of,
And they remind you why you get into this music, and because you can have, like, ear fatigue and listen to all this stuff, which, like, is totally, like, washes over you and you don't remember it. But to hear, just if you throw on Judeobeast, you're like, okay, this is what I'm looking for in metal in general.
Yeah, I mean, it's been fucking it's one of those things where, like, if you don't know what you want to listen to, you could put on, Judeobeast, and it'll definitely change your mood. I mean, it'll amp you up, and then you won't turn it off. You're not going to turn it off halfway through and be like, I'm kind of fucking bored. You might do that towards the end of Mocking, just because it's so fucking long, but, like, Judeobeast it's pure energy. You can't stop listening to it. It's like fucking drugs or something, man. You have to stop you can't stop until the last drop is fucking gone, man. Until
it gives you ashes. It definitely gives you energy. It gives me energy when just re-listening to, and it was definitely fun to go back and re-listen to all this stuff, because you can love a band, but I think you don't always, because you want to keep certain albums special. Like, I haven't listened to Kusharat in full in at least, like, 6-7 years, but listening to
it, it's been that long.
Well, I've listened to, like, songs off it, but I haven't listened to the full thing in a very, very long time. But just revisiting it over the last couple weeks, I mean,
that's fair, but I'm shocked. As much as you like the band, I figured you listened to them, but
I mostly listen to. So I listened to Judeobeast almost. Like, this on that whole album is like a part of my, like, workout playlist, so I'm listening to that constantly. And then to listen to Kusharat, like, in full, I've always just, same with, like, Mocking. I've listened to Mocking so much, I know that album by, like, almost every second. But I think
that's how I am too.
I think I was seeing the runtime on Kusharat and that it's like a double LP and that's over an hour, it's always been daunting to me, so I pick out specific songs.
Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, you should listen to that album more, and so should I. And I'm gonna do the same with Kohanic Charmers. And I need to. We can cover this if we do another one, but we need to talk about Welton Fiend. As a release, all the bands on that need to be.
Yeah, that can be it. I was thinking about doing an episode specifically for Welton Fiend because that's such a significant release that deserves its own episode.
Yeah, I got some words to say on that one to ruffle some feathers. I bet, man.
Do you have the box set of that?
No, I've just got the CD.
Yeah, I've always same. I only have the CD. I've always one of my buddies found the box set at a record store.
I didn't even know there was a box set.
It's like a triple LP from my my memory. Man. I could be wrong, but it is like it's a pretty significant release.
That's unnecessary.
Yeah, it is cool though. I've seen it in person. It's pretty sick. And the what is it? I also like we didn't talk about the abbreviations they do in their liner notes. Like GBK is BM for WP. Yeah.
Can we say that? Like, we probably shouldn't say that, but if you know, you know.
Yeah.
BM GBK is BMF W for WP.
Yeah, that was like one of the abbreviations in the liner notes. I always thought that was funny.
I'll tease it. I'll say fucking Welton Fiend is my least favorite material from Absurd and Grand Belial's Key, and I fucking hate Sigerblot. I think that band is trash. I know everybody fucking pisses their balls over fucking Blood's band or whatever, but that shit sucks, man. It's fucking terrible. And it's like all sought after now. But like, man, I don't get it. I don't understand that at all. But I mean, that's cool if they think they're, it's extreme or whatever put on there, but it's not for me, man. I don't get it. And the GBK stuff is good, but it's not as good as the other shit. It almost feels like throwaway tracks from Kosher Rat, and then the Absurd stuff isn't. Well, we'll cover that. We'll talk. There's more to talk about that because we got another Absurd episode coming up too. So
yeah, we'll cover the 2000s.
That's a teaser. That's a teaser for my my based out of bounds opinions that I have, man. So but it's a cool release. The artwork is incredible.
Yeah, it's so sick.
But all right, man. Is there anything else you wanted to say about fucking GBK?
No, I think if you've made it all the way through, just revisit all the records we mentioned, and then as we talked about before, we'll come back to GBK at some point. There's the demo era, there's EPs, there's splits, there's the Welton Fiend split. There's a bunch of more stuff to dive into with them. So I think this was a really interesting conversation, and hopefully someone got something out of it, whether or not you've been listening to GBK for 30 years like yourself or you're new to them. Just I don't know, dive into these records, man, because they're fucking incredible. And
do a deep dive. Like sometimes I like won't pay attention to EPs because a lot of times they're just throwaway tracks or something, but goddamn, man, the EPs and stuff are some of the most powerful materials like from this band. So yeah, they don't have any material that's not good. It's all worth listening to and owning. Of course it's harder to come across now because Discogs bans everything, but luckily there's some real fucking maniacs out there that are working to keep the stuff in print. Yeah, you can find it if you look hard enough. We're not going to plug it because if you don't know where to find it, you shouldn't know it. But I mean but I'm talking about the 7 inches though. Oh yeah, yeah. Those 7 inches are so hard to get now. They go for so much. Like the split with Chemin de Haine is like both bands are fucking sketch, so it's just like, and I probably fucked that up. I don't speak French. But like that one's. I mean, it's just that the prices are ridiculous, man. The collector's market is. I fucking hate that. It's a total joke now. I always tell people I'm waiting for all these guys to get out of black metal and they start unloading their collections. Yeah, there's some shit from like that I'm gonna. I just know, like, well, I'm going to have to pay over $100 for this 7-inch at one point. Right. Luckily, 7 inches aren't that popular, but like, and I'm not talking about GBK. I'm talking about in general. There are some 7 inches from old bands that I want have had such an impact on my life that I have the tracks on multiple formats, but I want the fucking original. But everybody, oh, I gotta have it. I need to post it on my Instagram. It's fuck you, dude. You're never even gonna listen to it. You don't want to like hurt the integrity of it or something. But
yeah, the 7-inch culture is kind of dying out, which I miss because I love 7 inches.
I love 7 inches, man. It's very punk. It's very hardcore. I like 10 inches, man. 10 inches are fucking great.
I only own a handful of 10 inches, but those are interesting to me as well.
But something about them. They're special. They lend themselves well to box sets somehow. So there's a lot of non-metal bands that I like that have put out some really important 10 inches. But I don't know, like that's back when vinyl wasn't a culture and a part of mainstream media. Target wasn't carrying like the most shitty sounding vinyls ever. So, but anyway, that is gonna about do it for us. I really liked talking about GBK for this long. I could do it for probably another 2.5 hours.
Oh yeah, same.
But it's I would love it if I don't know. We should do something sometime where we probably can't do a thing where we listen to it and talk about specific parts. It's probably some copyright thing, but it would be interesting to listen to music live and critique it and bring things up here and there, because there's so many nuances with GBK. There's so many things and different emotions that it invokes, and because it's so well done. It's so well executed.
Yeah, we could do it. We could do a thing eventually where we have a listening party or something.
Yeah, there you go. That's the word.
Get listening people, party. Get people in a room and we all listen to it and talk about it.
I mean, it's kind of gay, but at the same time, it's no more gay than just like listening to fucking two guys talk about fucking Grand Belial
for 3 hours.
If you don't have anything else, I guess that's about it. Be surprised what happens next. I don't know what the fuck it is. We haven't really talked about it. It's on the fly. So unless you got an idea.
No, we could talk about it afterwards. So I think we'll sign off now. So I know you don't like me telling people this, but subscribe to the YouTube channel at least. You don't have to follow me on Instagram. And if you want to contact the podcast, I do have an email. It's basedhooligan@proton.me. All contact and inquiries, just message me on there.
That's M as in metal and E as in egg. That's a sub thing for instead of .com, it's .me.
Yes.
But and to in your I don't know. Okay, so it's not that obviously I love that people are subscribing. I think you should subscribe. The thing I don't like is when people make it part of it's just part of their fucking it just seems it's just part of the consumers like and subscribe and smash that bell. Fuck you, man.
Yeah, we'll never do that. But if you want to stay up to date with what we're doing,
yeah, you should stay up to date with it because Mr. Based Hooligan may drop other stuff in there from his page or shorts or something. Like he does a lot of good work. My voice just cracked like a teenager. But yeah, the channel's fucking awesome, and definitely subscribe because you never know. But we're trying to keep it pretty consistent every other week, and when we try to do them on Fridays, drop them on Fridays. But he'll let you know on through the channels and stuff that he's got going on, and we appreciate the feedback because it's fucking nice to hear that people are actually paying attention. So thank you.
Yeah, thanks everyone for listening, and we'll catch you again in a couple weeks.
That's it.